Must be something out there. 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 Alien abduction, alien abduction. Take me up in a spaceship. Alien abduction, alien abduction. Take me up in a spaceship. Hook me up with a spaceship. Hey! They tell me to trust no one. 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 Alien abduction, alien abduction. Take me up in a spaceship. Alien abduction, alien abduction. Take me up in a spaceship. Hook me up in a spaceship. Hey! The merchants are coming. Clam, put away that shotgun. The fancy lights have made me fly. Things they like to drink of my shine. Alien abduction, alien abduction. Take me up in a spaceship. Alien abduction, alien abduction. Take me up in a spaceship. Hook me up with a spaceship. Mulder and Scully, David Duchovny, salsa and chutney. X-Files, 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 X-Files. Alien abduction, alien abduction. Take me up in a spaceship. Yeah, yeah. Alien abduction, alien abduction. Fire up that spaceship. Fire up that spaceship. Hey!
Hey everyone, thanks for stopping by, and I know it's been a long time since I've streamed. I have been trying to avoid some of the drama that's going on around here, so I decided to take a nice little hiatus from YouTube. Fair warning to everybody here, I think you probably already know, a lot of you anyway, that this is probably going to be some drama. If you don't want drama, then you might want to wait for my next stream. This channel is going to be taking a brand new turn, and we are not going to be addressing drama anymore after tonight. But seeing as one of our favorite crazies has returned, and seeing as how they're streaming tonight and that I'm likely to be one of the main topics, I thought it'd be fun to do a little watch party. If you don't want any part of that, no hard feelings, I totally understand. Tuesday, I'm going to be doing a fun stream, and it's going to be about being a Virginian, aka a West Virginian, which is the state that I'm from, and all the hilarities that come along with our state. Stuff like how most people aren't aware that we are even a state, and going along with our own little special language and interpretation, such as the meaning of the word far and what it really means when your milk blinks. So if you all want to check in for some of that fun, that is going to be 2 days from now. I don't have it. I have it scheduled. Actually, I'm sorry. I do have it scheduled. And then after that, we're going to do the follow up on the Lily Jean saga. Lily Jean's got a lover, and he's 10 years older than she is. And they started dating when she was 14. So that's some of the stuff coming up for the channel. I'm also going to do another recovery stream really soon. I have come across a lot of really great programs available for recovering addicts in my state. And my state is one of the least funded, least educated, and poorest states in the United States. So if they're available in my state, they're probably available everywhere else too. And you guys are going to be amazed at the stuff that I've got in the works for myself from some of these programs, stuff I never ever thought would ever be available, and opportunities that I thought would never be available for me, and stuff's going to be happening that I never thought could happen. So all that's coming up in the next week or two. So keep an eye out for all of that. For tonight, we're just going to be basically doing a listen and response to the upcoming live. So, Amanda, I saw you asking about the music. That is The Recipe, and they are actually a local band in my area, and I absolutely love them. I've been a fan of them for years, and I played their music a few times on my channel before. But if you look up Night of the Porch People, that is the album that song came from, and they are a nice mix of like bluegrass and kind of pop music, I guess. Kind of reminds me a little bit of the Grateful Dead, only with maybe some fiddle thrown in. So that's who the music is. And hi, Copper. Thanks for showing up. Amanda. Hi, Marie. And I saw, hi, Nicole. Thank you for stopping by if you're still in here. So, yeah, I'm going to post the StreamYard's link in the chat. And anybody who wants to come up and do some commentating is more than welcome to. You know, we can't just sit here and snipe. I don't like that. We have to comment. But we are going to be listening because why give it the views? You know what I'm saying? I think you all know, or, well, maybe not everybody, but a lot of you have been following some of this stuff and saw maybe the video that was put out yesterday. Yeah, I'm really interested. The description box says the world is full of traitors, betrayers, colluders, deserters, and dirty double-crossers, troubled assassins, and backstabbing besties. Who deserves the title of the world's worst friend? And I have heard whispers that I am in the running for that title. So very anxious to see what that result is. So tonight we're going to find out if I get the Oscar for the biggest asshole. As I said, you know, tonight's going to be a little snarky. This video is going to be made private after this, so don't worry. I want everybody to be able to speak freely, but I also want to have a little bit of fun. I didn't want to script anything out or do any too much deep diving. If we find nothing interesting to hear or see in this live, then we'll turn it off and just shoot the shit. So right now we're just waiting for it to start. So nothing's happening right now. And once again, anybody who wants to come up and talk is more than welcome. While we're waiting, I guess I'm going to go ahead and talk about some of this stuff I mentioned earlier. Yeah, Amanda, I've been doing pretty good. I've been trying to, like I said, avoid some of this drama. It just got to be too much for me. And I knew that if I streamed, that people would be coming in with drama, and I didn't like that. I know we got a low turnout now. I kind of expected that because there are a lot of people that I share an audience with streaming right now. Starlight's streaming on her channel. Robbie's streaming on his. I think Granny Fanny is even streaming. Don't leave me and go over there, though. You're not allowed. But anyway, I mentioned earlier some of these programs. While I'm waiting, I'll just talk about that because I'm super excited about it. But I recently got a new counselor over at the recovery clinic. And up until now, I've had really bad experiences with counselors. Most of them just don't care. And the first counselor I had her for 2 years, and she was actually turned out to be an addict herself. Like, she was in the height of her addiction. So she did not help at all, of course. Most of the ones that I had either were just trying to go through the motions or wanted to label me, put me in a box. I had one who kept on telling me that he was convinced that I had been very seriously abused and kept insisting on it to the point like where I actually ended up having a fit on him at one point because he would not quit saying it, no matter how many times I told him I wasn't an abuse victim. I mean, don't get me wrong. I think everybody's been through some shit. And if you tell that story about your childhood or what's happened to you, then it's going to sound like you grew up in a messed up situation. But to say you're a victim of abuse to me is not somebody who had a few messed up things happen or got spanked a little too hard once or twice, or, that's somebody who grew up like with serious mistreatment. And I don't like the word victim. I refuse to apply that word to myself ever. Whatever bad things that happened to me, I'm not a victim of it. I'm a survivor of it. And to call me a victim is to do myself a disservice. And it's also an insult to people who have really, really had bad things in their lives happen to them. So anyway, I got a new counselor recently, and we were talking about, what I had planned in the future for myself. And I was talking about how I wanted to get back into the workforce and how I felt like I was stuck, like I didn't know where to go next because I have an education, and my education has kind of made me less employable than I used to be. I seem to be overqualified or underqualified for every job that I apply to. And yes, they definitely can sometimes do more damage than good, Amanda, for sure. And most of mine actually did. Hey, Robbie, I love you. Anyway, so I was talking about how I felt stuck because I don't want to go back into the call center environment. The call center environment is rampant with drug use. And I am at a place in my recovery where I feel like it would be extremely detrimental to my recovery to be around people using. I don't feel like I could stay clean and be in the presence of drug abuse at the same time. And so because I have worked at so many places and I can't work on my feet because of physical issues or health issues. So I felt like I was really in a corner as far as jobs go. And so we got to talking about that, and he told me that he had a friend who is a job counselor at the local college. Where I live is a college town, so just about everything kind of revolves around the university there, Marshall University, which is the college. And so he put me in touch with her. And that's where it all started. And as it turns out, hi, Seraphin. As it turns out, there are so many programs available, stuff that I never ever thought would ever, like, I thought I might get some help finding a job. But not only are they helping me with that, I'm also have access to help with bus passes. I think I've talked about the problems I've had with my teeth. So I'm able to help get my teeth fixed and paid for. But one thing that I never, ever in a million years ever suspected is that I can actually, and I'm going to do this either tomorrow or Tuesday, whenever my boyfriend can take me, through this program, I can actually get my driver's license reinstated early and get the classes that I need for my DUI for free and help paying any leftover fines I may have as a part of this program. And if anybody has ever been in this situation, you know those fines are not a joke. They are really, really, really expensive. Hi, Susan. Thanks for stopping. Hi, Just Shelly. Hi, Dana. But anyway, I'm overwhelmed that all these possibilities and opportunities are available for me. And they have started acting so fast. I found out about this on Thursday. And by Friday, I had had no less than 6 different calls from people who are willing to help me with this. And not only are they making recommendations about jobs and helping me to find it, this one lady even wrote out a resume for, I didn't even ask her to do this. She wrote out a resume and even applied to a job for me. And I don't know, sorry, I get a little overwhelmed when I'm talking about this, and I'm still keeping an eye on the live stream that we're waiting on. Don't worry, we won't miss it. They're late, obviously. But anyway, where was I? Sorry. If you've ever been in a situation where you kind of have to put your life together, there's so much to do that sometimes you just get overwhelmed. Hi, Lufa. Hi, Mignon. Sometimes you just get overwhelmed with everything. And it's like, oh, but I have to do this. Oh, but I got to take care of my health first. But, oh, I can't drive. I can't get there on my own. And how am I going to blah, blah, blah. And finally you give up and your brain just shorts out and you go to bed. And that's kind of where I was at that point. I'd start thinking about everything I needed to do. And I would just get to the point where I quit thinking about it at all. And I just give up. And, so the fact that these people understand that and understand that feeling and actually took the initiative to not only like make recommendations, like I've got people helping me fill out papers and doing some of this stuff that has my poor brain so overwhelmed with everything. Like I can't even begin to tell you. I've been hopeless for so long. And it's just wonderful to know that there are people out there who understand exactly how this feels and understand that the desire to do it all is real, but it's so overwhelming, and they understand that, and they're actually taking positive steps to help. Because until then, like the most help I ever got was, you just need to nut up and do it. You just need to get off your ass, just do it. Well, that's all well and good. But when you have this huge list of stuff that you need to do and you don't know what to take care of first, sometimes you really do need somebody to tell you, especially when you have been in a state of unwellness for a period of time. Yeah. And I'm not really one of those people who's ever been really good at asking for help. I always want to be the one who doesn't look like I wanted to be the one who people looked at and said, like at the recovery clinic, like, you don't look like you belong here. You look like you've got it all together, So it took a lot to admit that I was overwhelmed and that I couldn't do it on my own. Yes, Luther, exactly. It can completely cripple you. Now, I live in West Virginia, so I don't know exactly what other states have. But as I said, West Virginia is the least funded, least educated, but most drug-ridden state in the U.S. Huntington has the highest per capita overdose rate in the United States. That's a documented statistical fact. Netflix actually has a documentary on it. I haven't seen it yet, but they do have one. HBO has devoted at least one and I think 2 episodes of Vice to it. They've talked about it on Last Week Tonight with John Oliver, who I absolutely love, by the way. I think the BBC has been here. It's not a secret. The First Lady has been here a couple of times. Obama's been here. Like, for a city that has less than 50,000 people in it, the amount of people affected by the drug problem is staggering. A couple years ago, when the fentanyl crisis started, we actually had, I believe it was 24 overdoses in like a 2 or 3 hour period. I mean, it's absolutely insane. Oh, thank you, Lufa. That's so sweet of you. I appreciate that. And I appreciate how supportive everybody has been with this. A lot of people, like to point us to your history, your addiction history, as a character flaw or as proof that something is, quote, wrong with you. And I find that tends to be something that they resort to when they don't have anything left in their arguments. And, that sucks. And it makes me sad as well. Thank you, Mignon. I love that picture, but I've got a whole bunch of them. It's funny. Maybe one day I'll get into the camera roll and show it because my cat kept playing at the time. So I have all these pictures. And I threw like all my hair, like I have so little hair, I threw all my hair over my face at the time to get that picture. And my cat kept wanting to play with my hair. So I have all these pictures where the cat like stuck her face in at the last second, or there's a paw. Actually, I think I had to trim her paw out of the corner of that one as well. Huntington Mall was good. St. Albans Mall sucked. Yes, I agree. Huntington Mall is still pretty decent. It's not bad. Huntington sucks now, though. It used to have like a really good nightlife. There used to be lots of things to do, lots of good shows, lots of good bands that came out of. No, Lufa, never put your boobies away. Tits out, TT's up. Anyway. There used to be a lot of great things that Huntington had to boast. A lot of good bands came out of Huntington or got their start in Huntington. Like Kid Rock used to play here on the regular before he got famous. I don't know. There are a lot of bands that kind of like Huntington used to have a killer music scene. And the campus, brought in a lot of attention. Huntington, West Virginia, Alexandra. Hi, Platinum 21. Huntington, West Virginia. It's the home of Marshall University and the Herds. Tits out and up, yes. There was a couple of movies, or one movie for sure. If anybody's familiar with the movie We Are Marshall, that was actually filmed here, and it's about the college in our town. Matthew McConaughey and oh, I forget who all else was in here, in it. But Matthew McConaughey was around here a lot. And it's funny because I'm a huge, or always was a big fan of his. But oh my God, it was so aggravating when he was here. Like you could not go anywhere in town without getting stuck in like an hour of traffic. But anyway, Matthew McConaughey, Matthew Fox, I can't remember who all else. So there's a little bit of fame. You know, West Virginia has two big teams, Marshall University, the Herd, and WVU, the Ears. And if you don't root for the Herd, you better root for the Ears. And they're deadly rivals. But I don't care about football, really. But that's what Huntington's known for. These days, though, like all the bars are defunct. Everything looks like crap. We've got, okay, Robbie, we've got homeless people. The homeless situation is bad. I think I showed a couple of the videos where people took, and I don't agree with this. I think it's incredibly unkind, but it's not abnormal to see that kind of thing. People like in the midst of some kind of freak out on the streets, people eating out of trash cans. And it's a lot of it has to do with the drug crisis. And it's sad that in a town this small, that it is that bad. Let me check. She still hasn't started. I wonder if it's going to happen tonight. Well, we may end up doing my West Virginia one early, girls. Let's see. Yes, Lufa's rack. She does have huge knockers. But anyway, there's a lot of craziness, and West Virginia has gotten a fair amount of notoriety because of it. Anyway, sorry. If anybody's listening here and you're in a situation like mine, of course, you know, it goes without saying that anybody who wants to reach out to me always can. Like I'm always down to talk or, you know, just whatever. But if you really need the kind of help, if you're stuck like I am, what I would suggest is tracking down your counselor if you have one, and going to them and just asking about the programs that are available. And you might have to kind of ride their ass about it if it's any place, anything like the clinic in my area is. Keep reminding them, keep staying on them. You know, you want to know what's available to help. And not all of the programs that I've talked about are just for recovering addicts either. I should actually have made that a little more clear. Some of them are just for recovering addicts, but some of them are just for people who are in a position where they need a job. There are, and I know that they're in different places across the U.S. There's a organization called Dress for Success. So if you need clothing for a professional job, for job interviews, whatever, there is a division for females and a division for males. And you can go there and get help with clothing. Yes, Lufa, that's kind of what we've been waiting on. We were going to do a watch party for it, but so far she hasn't showed up. Hi at the end of the day. Oh, thank you. Yes, I love Robbie. He's the best. But anyway, there's Dress for Success, which is an organization that will help you get clothing for a professional type job. If you're in a profession where you need to dress a certain way. And it's not like I have seen the clothing that the one in my area carries. And it's not just like a bunch of yard sale looking stuff. Like some of it is, but some of it is also very nice. And the thing with getting my license back, I'm actually due at the end of the year to get it back, you know, either way. Well, I'll be legally eligible to get my license back. I've been 5 years without a license. It's been absolute hell. I can't even begin to tell you. Luckily, the public transportation in my area is not bad. So I'm blessed with that. It's really cheap, it's clean, and it's pretty safe. So luckily, that hasn't been too bad. But it runs once an hour. So if you have a 5-minute errand, something that would take you like maybe 20 minutes up and back is going to take a minimum of an hour, a minimum. So that's very aggravating. But anyway, they told me that even if, you know, I had a lot longer, they didn't say how long, but, you know, if you've got a year, 2 years, however long, ask about it anyway, because I know it exists in West Virginia. If it exists in West Virginia, I'm betting it exists in other places as well. And you need somebody, you need like an advocate to help you to like submit your name to the DMV. But all you need is a clean drug screen, and they submit it to the DMV. And with that, they can get your driver's license reinstated early, get your fines waived, get your DUI classes fees waived. I think I still have to go, but I can get the classes paid for, and help with bus vouchers and transportation to get me to the places that I need to go in the meantime. And that kind of thing is just amazing. Yes, Aquarium Baby, it's for a DWI. Jenna Teeter, I'm just doing, right now, I'm just kind of talking, but this is supposed to be a watch party because a creator that's been gone for a while who kind of likes to stir up trouble is supposed to be going live. They were supposed to be live 20 minutes ago. So I think this may end up just being a shoot the breeze kind of situation instead, because I have a feeling she's not going to show. But that's okay, because if it doesn't, then we'll just hang out and talk in the meantime. Yeah, sorry about that. If they don't show, not much we can do about it, but I understand if you get bored. A knockout fight? I don't know. I think it's going to be somebody probably going for me, which is one of the reasons why I wanted to do a watch party for it. Let's see. This person is known to really dislike me a lot. So, and the live topic is who deserves the title of the world's worst backstabber. And the description box is the world is full of traitors, betrayers, colluders, deserters, and dirty double-crossers, troubled assassins, and backstabbing besties. Who deserves the title of the world's worst friend? And since I've been told that I'm in the running for that award, I thought I would have a watch party. But it looks like it's not going to happen. So that's okay. I think Copper's going to come up, and at the end of the day, that is a question I have not entirely figured out the answer to be honest with you. I generally tend to create either massive hate or massive love bombs in people who get to know me. And I don't know why. People tend to have an extreme reaction to me. Yeah, it was a mouthful. I'm mystified really about why she started hating me in the first place, but the main reason she hates me right now is because somebody provided me with the contents of a Discord that was created just to kind of go after me. And I addressed that publicly on a live stream, and she is very angry about that. So I'm one of those people that I don't backstab, I front stab. Like if I go after somebody or if I have something to say, I don't screw around. I just say it out loud. And I let you know what I think. I'm not going to pretend to like you to your face and talk smack behind your back. I am going to tell you exactly what I think, no matter how distasteful some people may find it. And some people don't like it when people are outspoken about stuff. Copper said she had to go get a coffee or something and that she was going to come back. I agree with that at the end of the day. I really do. And I encourage anybody who has a question, an issue, a problem to come to me and discuss it with me. I will be honest. I will answer you honestly. You may not like my answer, but I'll be 100% honest about it with you. And what really bothers me is when I find out that I'm being accused of something and that people have gotten together and discussed it and tried and convicted me without bothering to ask for my side of it. And that's aggravating. Or when somebody has decided they don't like me because they found out that I don't get along with somebody else, like something that is absolutely none of their business at all. It's absolutely boggles my mind the lengths people go just to get to you because they've decided that they don't like you, when they can either A, try to work it out with you, or B, go the hell somewhere else. There are literally millions of channels that people can go watch. And if you don't enjoy my channel, if you don't enjoy my content, there is lots of other good stuff you can watch and lots of wonderful creators you can go watch. Oh, I love you, Cass. Yeah, you've always been a good friend to me too, girl. And, I stand for my buddies. Like, if somebody is good to me, then I will take up for you. I don't care what somebody else says they've done to you, what kind of terrible things they might say you're guilty of. If I don't see absolute 100% proof of that, then okay, well, you may not like them, but they've done nothing to me, and I'm not going to hold whatever issue you have with them against them. And sometimes that's bit me in the ass, but I'm not going to change that, and I'll tell you why. Because when I start going off of other people's opinions and letting them decide for me who I'm going to defend, who I'm going to be friends with, who I'm going to stick up for, then that is when well, first of all, it makes you jaded and hard and cynical and stands in the way of building bridges and making connections with other people. And we all need friends and connections. Even internet friends are good to have. But also, I don't want somebody else making those decisions for me. And just because one person thinks somebody's an asshole doesn't necessarily mean I'm going to think they're an asshole. And even if this person did something terrible, I still want to know why they did it, what motivations they had, what led them to that decision, and what the events were surrounding it before I'm still going to decide that they're a terrible person. So, yeah, that's pretty much it. And I want all that to take into consideration besides just somebody doing a shitty thing. Yes, exactly. At the end of the day, exactly. Um, because you might say, "Oh, well, this person put my put my name out there." Okay, so somebody put your legal name out there. That's shitty. That's doxing. That's not okay. But if that's the only factor you have, you're only getting a part of the story. Because if somebody did something shitty like that, then there's likely a series of events that led to that. And unless a person is a nutbag, which we have plenty of those on YouTube, I'm not going to lie, but unless that person is a nutbag, then there's probably been a long line of events that led up to that. And I want to know what you did to that person to make them do that to you. What transpired beforehand, and basically, like, I'm never going to say anybody deserved it, but people can be pushed to a certain point where they act without thinking. And if somebody is being, and I've seen rampant on this platform, doxing and mistreating of others and bullying and name calling, and like what Robbie's been going through with Mommy Ramblings is just one example. And if somebody gets mistreated to the point where they freak out and do something without thinking, that is a lot less nefarious than a plotted out, planned series of events that are enacted just for the sake of messing with somebody. School playground stuff. Yep, pretty much. Boy in the bar. Hi, I don't think I've seen you before. I think you're new. Okay, Robbie, take your time. We're still waiting. We're still waiting for space. But anyway, that's kind of what I have to say about the drama. And, I'm not perfect. I've done some shit that I would probably change if I could have. Yeah, me too, Alexander Supernova. And, in this day, it's even easier than looking somebody up in the yellow pages, isn't it? Yeah, me too, Copper. I will never, ever, and I hate this. If you're friends with that person, I can't be friends with you. Well, no, we'll probably never be a group. But if I hate somebody and you're friends with them, then just please don't try to make me like them. That's all I ask. Don't try to make me like them. Don't try to tell me why I need to be their friend. Don't try to sell that person to me. And, if you don't mind, please don't tell them what we talk about in private. I don't care how much I dislike somebody. If somebody was my friend, and no matter how badly they may or may not have screwed me over, I will never, ever, 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 ever in a million years, ever release or repeat things that they told me in private or said to me in private or private messages or emails that they sent me. That's not okay. And even if I hate you now, if we were once close and I had love for you to where we were talking about things that we normally wouldn't tell other people, I have enough respect for the friendship we used to have. To me, that's like, it's almost like a death in a way when you lose a friendship, because that person that you used to know and be friends with is now gone forever. And so to me, like, the loss of a friendship is the loss of a person. And I mourn that like I would mourn a death in a way. And to me, to do something like that is disrespectful to what that friendship meant to me at the time. Because this person you are now, this hateful whatever, that's sitting there calling me names and talking shit, ain't my friend, that I used to eat cookie dough ice cream with and cry over boyfriends and, sat in my lap and cried when your pet died. That's not the same person. This is some other asshole I don't know. That person that sat with their head in my lap and cried over their husband cheating on them isn't this person that's in front of me now. So that's how I kind of see it. And yes, integrity and loyalty. And yeah, I'm going home and taking my toys with me. That is what a lot of it is. But what's bad, and especially on the tubes and with Discord, which has become the root of all evil somehow, there's a lot of that shit going around, isn't there? Like, I have screenshots. I have receipts. I come with receipts, bitch. You know what? As far as I'm concerned, I come with a coupon and a food stamp or two. But if you come with receipts, I'm going to take those receipts and return your ass. Because as far as I'm concerned, receipts are bullshit. They're absolute bullshit. There isn't a single receipt that cannot be faked, and faked quite easily. And people do it all the fucking time. Oh my God. Now, I don't know what it's called because I didn't know it existed until somebody mentioned this to me earlier. So I thought this was the only thing that couldn't be faked. But text messages, I guess there's an app now where you can fake text messages. And even if there wasn't, you could always store anything under somebody's name and have, like, I could store my boyfriend. I could take my boyfriend's phone number and store it in mine as Copper's name and write a bunch of shit and say, look what Copper said to me. I've got receipts. I got receipts, bitch. Or, you can do a private live on YouTube and bring your alts in there and have them say a bunch of shit and name them after the people you want to fuck with. You could do that. Discord is so super easy. All you have to do is change your nickname. You can change those nicknames to anything you want to change them to. You can be whoever you want to be in Discord, and you can type whatever you want to type. So receipts are bullshit. I don't give a fuck about them. They're not proof of anything. Pretty much, if I don't see it on video, then I'm going to make my own decisions about what's true and what's not. And a lot of it's going to have to do with what kind of person you've proven yourself to be to me in the past, if you're coming to me with a story, and also what type of person the person in question has proven to me to be in the past. I don't know why people don't like each other. They can't just go their own way and let that person go theirs. I mean, if I hate somebody, to go to the lengths that people go on here to make them look bad or to make them suffer, I don't want I don't want somebody having that kind of rent-free space in my head. I don't want to walk around carrying that kind of load on my shoulders. I don't want them to have the satisfaction of causing me that much grief and hate. And I don't understand why anybody would nurture that kind of poison in their soul. To me, it's just not worth it. And I actually, I went the other way, and I would get so upset and I would cry and I would make myself sick to my stomach when I would see all this. But for those of you who've never streamed, Shelly, it doesn't look like it's going to happen. I'm still keeping an eye out. But I'm thinking somebody chickened out. That's what I'm thinking. That's a bummer. But, I must have missed I'm sorry, I didn't see. Sometimes I don't pay enough attention to the chat. Oh, I'm sorry at the end of the day. I hate to say that sucks because it sounds like I'm blowing something off, but I don't know a better way to say something sucks than to say it sucks. So I'm sorry, that really sucks. And, but, there's still a lot of people out there, a lot of opportunities out there. And I think, I'm not sure if I know who you are or not, but I think I do. And I think you're still fairly young. So, you know, just to me, when I start getting down about it, like with people hating on me, mistreating me, doing me dirty, being shitty, yeah, just Shelly. That's pretty much what we're doing. But when it starts getting me down, like it did with some of this drama, that's when they win. And that is why I chose to hide a lot of my streams that were drama related. If anybody's wondering about that, I made that decision myself because some of those were me being so upset over, for instance, the account where somebody was calling me a heroin junkie and had up the pictures of my family and stuff, well, that channel's gone now. But, I had streams with me crying over that and streams with me just being angry and being so upset because this person had hurt me and that person had hurt me. And, one day I just realized that it's as easy as making the decision that they don't get to hurt me anymore. And that's really all it took, was me realizing that I can just decide that they don't get to hurt me anymore. And I quit looking at some of these channels that I knew would be saying nasty things about me. I started responding like, I get text messages saying stuff like, you need to see what this person said about you, and here's a screenshot of what was said about you here, and you need to go there and look at what was said about you. And I just started saying, I don't care. I don't care. It's okay. Let them say it. I don't care. And oh my God, guys, I can't even tell you how freeing it is to just decide that you're going to put all that down. Because it actually made me sick in my soul to the point where I almost relapsed. And I mean, that's serious. Like, I have 18 months clean. Wait a minute, I'm counting. I'm sorry. Yeah, it's about 18 months. This is, 18 months clean. And because of these assholes, I almost threw that away. And I actually went to my dealer and spent money and came back, and I was sitting, I had everything out and I was looking at it and I stared at it for probably an hour. I just sat and stared. And eventually I got up and I just chucked it all into the toilet and flushed it. Like, I had to do it so fast because it almost caused me physical pain to do that. But sometimes you just have to realize that you can make that decision. You can make that decision to say no to all of it. God, I sound like a motivational speaker right now, don't I? But it's the truth. You kind of hold the key over who can hurt you. Thank you, Tia. I appreciate that. That's so sweet. I won't lie, it hasn't been easy. And the funny thing is that I have always been a very, very moderate person. Like, I've never been much of a drinker. I've never been much of a partier. I was usually, with the exception of maybe a handful of times, like the person who always stayed sober and took care of everybody. I'd scrape my friends up and clean the puke off of them and hold their hair back while they threw up and make sure they all got in my car and didn't leave with any strangers and blah, 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 blah. And then, I had a doctor that was unethical, and I ended up in, a really bad state with pain medication. And when my doctor, when I lost my job eventually, and my doctor cut me loose right when my insurance, funny, my doctor cut me loose my first appointment after my insurance ran out. I thought that was a funny coincidence. But after my doctor cut me loose, even though I told her over and over again that I needed help, in like the year or two before that, she cut me loose and left me with a raging addiction and no way to take care of it. So I'm kind of the poster child for it can happen to anyone. Oh, thank you, everybody. I appreciate that. But my point in telling all this is that it can happen to anybody. And I don't know, say Robbie. I was wondering that too. I think she might have chickened out. I am actually really disappointed, and I'm kind of hoping she might still come on. So we'll see. We shall see. I wonder if maybe she didn't decide not to go live because so many people decided to stream at the same time. Granny Fanny had one scheduled, which I think he might have canceled. I'm not sure. Hello Starlight had one scheduled. So I'm thinking maybe she just Cosmic's live right now too. So I'm thinking maybe she just decided there wasn't enough of an audience and that not enough people were going to be there. So I don't know. It's just a theory. Give me just a second. Hang on just a second. I'm going to go mute for just a second. I'll be right back. I just want to. Okay, sorry about that. My nosiness got the better of me. I was told that somebody was saying almost the exact same thing I was saying. So I had to go look. I'm so sorry, guys. I know I don't admit to always being the least petty of people. So that was a little petty on my part, but I had to go look. I couldn't help it. Anyway, still not live. Well, damn. Okay, so my next live stream, I think I told you all, is going to be about living in West Virginia. And shit. There are a few things about West Virginia that are unique. Thank you, everybody, for your congratulations. Anyway, there are a few things about West Virginia that are unique. So unless anybody has something they want to talk about, like I can do a little bit of talking about some of the things we're going to touch on in my upcoming live. So does anybody have any input about anything you want to talk about? I'll give you all a couple of seconds to type stuff in. No, Cass, it wasn't YouTube. Like I got a message, like somebody told me that somebody was basically like echoing my words almost word for word on another panel. So I had to go look because I'm nosy. So anyway, yes, West Virginia is steep in history, and we have a few characters that are actually pretty famous or notorious, depending on how you look at it. There's a guy, his name is Jescoe, Jescoe, White, and their family is fairly famous. He's known as the Dancing Outlaw, and what? It's Sunday. Today's Sunday. Oh, I said, never mind. Oh, I got confused there, because I just saw you say it's Sunday, and I thought maybe you were saying that the live we were waiting for was Sunday, but no, it's scheduled for today, and she's late. Anyway, Jessica White, the Dancing Outlaw, is a really interesting character. You think Virginia has a British feel, but you know West Virginia and Virginia are two separate states, right? Boy in the Bar. A lot of people, and I still find this amazing in this day and age, especially, and in the United States, how many people don't realize that West Virginia is a state all on its own. A lot of times when people ask me where I'm from and I say West Virginia, I get a number of responses. One is, oh, well, I have family in Richmond. Do you live near Richmond? No, that's Virginia. That's a whole entirely different state. Yeah, Virginia's colonial. West Virginia decided to secede from Virginia during the Civil War and become their own state. So West Virginia went with the North, Virginia went with the South. West Virginia is actually typically in the North, or technically in the Northeast. I don't know why we have hillbilly accents, but we do. Don't know why. It kind of mystifies me. But one thing I love, and especially since I've done so much phone work in my life, is that a lot of people will ask me where I'm from, and I tell them I live in West Virginia. Well, I knew you had to be Southern. We're not Southern at all. We are our own special brand of hillbilly. Hey, Rev, how you doing? 3%. Okay. All right. I got nothing to say about that. Okay, you're good. Anyway, that's one of the things I get a lot of times. You know, there's the whole redneck thing. And interestingly enough, the term redneck, a lot of people think that that came from people out working in the sun, getting tans on the back of their neck, getting sunburns on the back of their neck, and their necks getting red from the sun. And actually, the term redneck is from the mining. West Virginia is known for its mining culture. And when, thank you, Platinum, when the unions, my brain just farted, when the unions started coming to the mines, the rednecks came from folks who tied bandanas around their neck to show their support for the unions, and the term redneck originated with that. So I find that interesting. Something else interesting, you know, with some of the controversies around about the rebel flag, you know, a lot of people find that really offensive. A lot of people, and I hear this in West Virginia even, and it drives me insane, is that people say that it's important to preserve the rebel flag because it's part of our state's history. Well, West Virginia seceded to join the North. So we never flew under the rebel flag, although there was a very small part of West Virginia that retained it for a while. But the rebel flag is not a part of West Virginia's official history at all. And, oh, thank you, Alexandra. And this is just a touch on some of it because I'm going to do the real live stream on Tuesday. And like I said, we're going to go over some of the like terminology and, you know, some of the fun facts and all of that. But this is just something to talk about for now. Another, I guess, cool thing, another interesting thing is the town that I come from, which is Point Pleasant, West Virginia. It's about an hour away from Huntington, where I live now. Point Pleasant, West Virginia was the site of a major battle in the Revolutionary War, the Battle of Point Pleasant, all kinds of monuments and stuff in the town over it, and a lot of interesting folk tales and stories. Yes, yeah, you're right. It is a Confederate flag. I didn't write anything out, make any notes or anything for the slide because I thought we were just going to do a watch party. So I'm not really prepared. Just kind of going off the cuff with some stuff to kind of get your all's interest up for my upcoming live, and we'll delve into stuff a little more in detail then. But one thing that I love to talk about is the folklore and stuff in Point Pleasant, because Point Pleasant is a teeny tiny town. It has like 4,000 people in it. When I lived there, it probably had half that. So this town is tiny, but it is steeped in mystery and intrigue, and there's so many creepy stories and so much folklore. Supposedly Point Pleasant is on some maps, some occult maps, as supposedly a portal to some other dimension or maybe to hell. I don't know, because there are two rivers, the Ohio and the Kanawha River, and they meet on the point of West Virginia at our park, town park, which is called Tewindowee, and that is the, I believe, I could be wrong because there were a couple of different Indian tribes. I think it may be Shawnee, not sure, but it means mingling of the waters. That's what Tewindowee means. It's the name of the park. And, you know, a lot of different spiritual belief systems think of places like that as a place of power. And so because of that, and because of the fact that the Indian chief Cornstalk was assassinated in Point Pleasant, and what was done to him was really, you know, it was low. They met with him under the guise of friendship, and then when he showed up, he and his family were assassinated. And I don't know if I said his name's Chief Cornstalk, but supposedly he cursed Point Pleasant when he died. Oh, okay. Thank you, Mignon. That's fine. Power to the people. Anyway, he supposedly cursed the town when he died. And there are lots of, oh, thank you, Slopes. I appreciate that. Supposedly when he died, he cursed the town, and there are lots of crazy things that have happened. Lots of young people die in that town, and all in very weird ways. Really, no joke. And that's not a fun fact. It's horrible. But even like when I was young and drugs weren't, like when I was growing up in school, you went to New York City to find drugs. You know, there were people that had weed, of course, that smoked pot, and, you know, might steal a Darvocet out of their mom's medicine cabinet or something. But for the most part, drugs were something you went to New York City to find. Like, we were so behind in everything. But even before drugs became a problem, young people died a lot. And it was always very odd ways that nobody could quite explain. There's also the location of what we call TNT area, but is known as McClintock Animal Preservation or Wildlife Preservation. I 1 hour drive floors. I think I've shown some of you pictures, sure, Robbie, pictures of Point Pleasant and TNT area, but during, I think, World War II, I think, they used to store ammunition there. And from what I understand, although the official word is no, they don't, I think they do. I'm sorry, I gave you the wrong link. There it is. Anyway, there have been explosions up there, and like we used to party up there when I was young. And that's also where the Mothman supposedly appeared. And there have been multiple movies about the Mothman. Oh, wow. That's interesting, Alexandra. As far as I know, we don't have any Native American reservations or families that live in that area now. But there were a lot, you know, back in the day. But the Mothman, I think, is probably the biggest claim to fame now. There was an episode of the X-Files that was based on the Mothman, and they even mentioned Point Pleasant, West Virginia in the X-Files. There was the Mothman Prophecies with Richard Gere and Deborah Messing. I'm sure a lot of you are probably familiar with that. The movie was terribly misleading, and it was just a terrible movie. But there have been a couple other terrible movies called Mothman, or some terrible so-called documentaries called Mothman. Disregard them all. Go read the book, The Mothman Prophecies, if you want to know about it, but maybe we'll talk about it some on Tuesday. Hi, Robbie.
Hey, hey everybody. Sorry, my live ended and I've been in my StreamYard having a little after party privately ever since.
Oh, okay. You're good.
Yeah, but I was really interested. I don't mean to crash on what's going on, but I was very interested to even possibly take a link on not Breakfast, but Space Monster's panel. Apparently, I don't know, did I shut her down? What happened?
I'm wondering, and she's still showing that she's waiting. She hasn't canceled it yet.
She was very confident about, this exposing, but I don't know if you know this, she was saying that the glare and Granny Fanny were the same. So I pretty much debunked that within 2 seconds by having Granny Fanny on my panel. So
right.
Maybe is that why she's not going live? Or
I'm thinking maybe it's because Starlight, Cosmic, Granny Fanny, and you were all streaming at the same time, and we all started ours at the same time. So I'm thinking maybe she's waiting to see if more people come to hers to wait. So that's kind of why I'm sticking it out, because I'm thinking she may still decide to go live. And I'll admit I'm a bit petty. I don't want her to have the views.
Well, that's why I was telling everybody. I said, Breakfast, just so you know, is doing a viewing party. You're all ready for this. Go to Breakfast, do a Save Robbie raid on Breakfast. Here's the interesting thing about Space Monster. And I didn't want to give her the credit before, but I think, when attention needs to be brought to something, it does. Something that stood out to me in her video that she posted about me yesterday, which, by the way, only has one comment, and you know who the comment is? Herself commenting on her own video. So nobody cares, first of all, and nobody cared until I shared it privately, and that's why she has views on the video. But here's the thing. Space Monster was in a Discord joking around with people about me dying of AIDS. Okay. And then so she posts a video about me joking around about COVID with her. That was simply a response to her poor behavior. So she won't show you that part. But here's the thing. Me, Breakfast, and Nikki, we already showed that screenshot when I did the HIV test. People already know about that. But she zoomed in on it. She left herself out of the equation. She wants to seem very innocent. But here's where it gets interesting, Breakfast. And this is why I think Space Monster is actually the account, Hey, who told Mommy Ramblings that we're involved, you and I. Here's why I think that. Breakfast has been, in the last 24 hours, Space Monster. The last 24 hours has come to my channel and talked about my balding hairline under separate accounts. Here's how I know it's her. Because if you go to the description of the video she made about me, she's talking about me being bald. Nobody else talks about, yes. So go to that description. You should pull it up and just go to the description. Don't play the video. She's talking shit about me being bald. She's also telling me in the description of her video, which has nothing to do with Carolyn, she's saying, Robbie, leave Carolyn alone. So this alone goes to show you that Space Monster just wants to come back to YouTube and she wants views. She wants to feel important. She wants to feel like a victim, much like Carolyn does. So yeah, that's what Space Monster is. Space Monster and Shipwreck Beck refused to even contact me privately and respond, let alone announce publicly why they're in a Discord secretly talking about me, wishing AIDS upon me. Okay, so don't take a clip of me, Space Monster, talking shit back to you about what you've done without showing the whole story. And I believe that's why I shut the bitch down. That's why she's not going live. She knows, first of all, she has no views. She has no people to support her. Right. And here's another thing, and I'm sorry to talk too much, but
oh, you're fine.
Space Monster says, and I listened because I was curious, her very first live, she goes, I'm live. This is my very first live. You want to know who pops up in her chat already as a moderator? Some person we've never fucking seen before. And she's like, oh, hey there. It's herself as her own fucking moderator.
Oh my God. Oh, that's funny.
It's like, oh, it's your first live and you already have a moderator when nobody's ever seen that name before? That's funny.
Oh, that's hilarious. Love Bomber, it is Space Monster, not Space Invader. So that's probably why you didn't find it. I'll give you the link to her channel. Now I'm looking at her video from yesterday, and I'm looking at this long and rambling
description.
Yeah. And what I love the best is not only she says that I lied, but she also says that I took comments out of context. When I showed the contents, I know you were sick at the time and you didn't see it, but I showed the contents of that entire Discord on my live stream and read it out loud and who said what. So how can you take something out of context when you show the whole entire content of the conversation from beginning to end?
Well, and here's the thing too. Granny Fanny made a good point. Why do you leave and come back? If you're the pussy and you're scared, why did Shipwreck Beck leave YouTube? Why did Space Monster leave YouTube? It's because you guys, and delete all their videos, by the way. It's because you're ashamed of yourself. You have no truth to bring to anything. So you're wanting to come back. You're trying to work behind the scenes, kind of throw Bella at the end of the day, call her and try to brainwash her, call anybody, call me, call friends and be like, oh, this is what's going on. You have no proof. Right. Of behind the scenes shit. The only behind the scenes stuff that's going on, which I could show in my messenger, and this is where it gets really entertaining actually, is Space Monster used to message me privately and say, I'm in a secret group and we've been investigating this and these are all the troll accounts. But here's the thing. Now she's doing the same thing to my friends, but she's telling them I'm a part of it. She's always got this weird conspiracy in her head. I truly think that she's fucking deranged.
Yes. You know, and she's obsessed with exposing trolls. And I love this because she talks about troll accounts like that is the most evil thing you can do. And I don't know if everybody's seen this. I'm going to find it here while I'm talking, though. I caught her dead ass. Like at the time, I didn't even have my backup channel yet. And she was saying that I was all these different troll accounts, okay? And I dead ass caught her using a troll account. And this is how I did it, or it wasn't purposeful, actually. When I started my channel, I think everybody saw at the very beginning that I had mods who were taking on Breakfast Club character alts or Breakfast Club character roles, you know, pretending to be different characters from the movie. And, you know, they would spout out lines from the Breakfast Club. So I had one who was Allison Reynolds, and she was the basket case.
Love you, Jenna.
Yeah.
That's my good friend from elementary, Jenna Teeter.
Oh, okay. Okay. Yeah. There's a scene from the movie where the girl who's the basket case steals the nerd's wallet. You know what I'm talking about?
Yes.
Okay, and she reads out, your middle name is Ralph, as in puke. Your birthday is March 12th. You're 5'9.5", blah, 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 blah. And so she reads all that out, and then he gets mad because she stole his wallet. Well, Space Monster took a screenshot of one of my mods throwing that quote out, and then she posted it in a Discord and claimed that we were trying to dox Brian St. John. Okay, you guys can see it now.
Wait, do you want Brian here for this? Do you want me to call him really fast and get him on here for this?
Oh, I mean, he's not really involved in it, but I mean, you can if you want. It's just kind of funny. Because he had nothing, he wasn't like a part of it in any way. She just said that we were
trying. Yeah, but you know what though? Here's the thing about Space Monster, what she doesn't realize. Just like me having Granny Fanny on with Will, Space Monster, I actually make connections with people because I'm a real fucking person. So I talk to everybody. And the good thing about being a fence rider is I talk to everyone. So if you want to talk about people and not throw facts in there, let's actually have people go head to head and actually communicate together like adults do instead of just throwing gossip about there. That's why you're not live yet, right, Space Monster? You haven't hit the live button yet because you know you're getting shut the fuck down and nobody cares about your opinion. She wanted to come back with a vengeance. You know, she wanted to come back with it. You got shit. Shut the fuck up. Stop harassing my friends. Stop messaging them, trying to make them believe that breakfast is in some secret club or anybody else. And I'm sorry, before you get into this, I also want to say, and I don't want to be vulgar, but yeah, the only reason she's attacking my hairline is because I have announced. I said, that's one thing that bugs me. And why it bugs me is because I used to have fun with my hair and I'm a gay man. Like I used to do different styles, but I will tell you something, that my defining hairline is very sexy growing as a man. And when I look down at my body and my face, I'm like, damn, I'm fucking hot, regardless of my hair.
You know,
I guarantee you can't do that, Space Monster. I bet you look at your body and you're very disappointed, so you want to cut other people down. So shut the fuck up.
Right. Like I could start showing pictures of her. Like she went after my looks too because I said on one of my streams that my front 2 teeth had broken off. And
Who cares?
Well, she started calling me a toothless junkie. Like that's what she calls me now at every opportunity. I'm a toothless junkie. So yeah, like that is just a sign that they don't have anything else in their arsenal. When they go after your looks or they go after like your recovery, that just means they have no real valid reason to go after you. And by the way, as far as your hairline's concerned, I thought for the longest time that you just had a mohawk. Like I didn't even know that you had a receding hairline.
Well, I mean, this is the same woman who has teased me back, you know, in my drug days for masturbating in the mirror. First of all, yeah, I was delusional and on drugs, but there's a reason I was masturbating in the mirror, and it's because I think that I'm fucking hot. So you can call that narcissistic or not, but I get myself off. I'm sexually attracted to myself. Sorry that you're not.
All right. Now let me tell the punchline to this story. It's a quick one, but all right. So she thought we were doxing Brian St. John. Okay. And her big thing is always like against me. She was always accusing me of being a troll. Trolls are evil, using an alt as evil, blah, 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 blah. Well, I don't know. It's kind of dim, but do you see this right here? All right. She took this screenshot and she posted it saying that I was doxing Brian St. John. Look there at the bottom. It says chat publicly as Angry Funnell. So Space Monster, at the time that she was accusing me of being a troll and doxing somebody, was using a troll account.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
she has this big, she has this way, you know, back when her and I were friends, when I would see that she was calling me on Messenger, I'd be like, oh my God. Sometimes I wouldn't answer because I knew that the phone call would at least last an hour and I just simply wouldn't have time. So I hit ignore. But when I would answer the phone or read her text messages, it was always something, she has this way of saying, you know, I'm working secretly with this group of people and we're working on this. And I would always say, okay, who? Like, what are you talking about? It doesn't matter. You don't need to know, but we're working on this. Okay. So she was protecting me. Okay. But then as soon as she started attacking me for no reason, when I messaged her, she never responded again. And I'm not going to say who. She would reach out to friends of mine, tell them I'm in some secret club and tell them the same bullshit, feed them the same lies that she was trying to feed to me.
Yep. That sounds pretty much like it. She kept on saying that I was part of the army and that the leaders, and then she'd name all these people, and they were all people I'd never heard of, never spoken to. Like at the time I was still new to YouTube. So I was unfamiliar with Bam's channel. Like the first time I heard of Bam was when a Space Monster accused me of being in her army. So then I went and checked your channel out. Like it just amazes me, the conspiracy theories she gets up in that head of hers. Like, whew.
And yet here she is, you know, she comes back. She is the only person commenting on her only video, by the way, besides her live. Nobody went into her live except like herself as her own mod. I'm coming back and I'm going to, you know, she always says, I'm going to expose, or we've been working on, bitch. Everybody knows you're full of shit. And now you're terrified to hit that live button. I dare you to hit that live button. Not only do I dare you that, I dare you to give me a link and then breakfast a link or vice versa, somebody first. I dare you to actually face what the fuck you're talking about because you don't even have the nerve to respond to me privately. Why the fuck would you do it publicly? Because you're a fucking pussy.
Yep. I invited her on my panel when I read the dream.
There's Brian.
Publicly.
Will you give Brian a link? Because I messaged him. He's here.
Yeah. Hey, Rev.
Hey, what's up?
Hi, Brian.
Hey, Rev.
Go on, Robbie. I didn't mean to cut you off. My bad.
Oh, no, you're fine.
What were you saying?
I don't remember now. What was I saying? I don't remember. That's okay. If it was important, I'll remember it later.
How's it
BCF,
going,
what's going on with all this like talk about you doxing and swatting people? Like,
I have no idea. The only thing that's ever happened, which I have owned up to more than once, was the bullshit with Jamie, and that was back in December. And it was an old address that she no longer lived at, and she was trying to dox Misery. And all right, we'll go over it. I used to be a big Misery supporter. I'm not anymore. But Helen was on there, and they doxed Misery, and they were getting ready to give it out again. And I told her that I could just as easily do the same thing to her.
do you really need to involve yourself with that kind of drama, though? Like,
Yeah, I'm sorry I did
leave
it.
them alone, you know? That's all you need to say. Like, you're sorry. So
Yeah.
we're straight.
Well, I mean,
And sorry to cut you guys off, but can you explain to Brian why he's here? Just because he's like,
I don't know. Robbie messaged me on Facebook. He's like, "Come over here real quick." So
yeah, we just wanted to show you something.
Yeah. Hang on. I'll pull it up again. Give me just a minute here. We were talking about Space Monster, and a while back, when I first started my channel, I had mods, and instead of just being like regular mods, they would took on alts like characters from the Breakfast Club, and they would throw out quotes.
But why would you involve yourself with that shit? Like, you don't really need to. You know what I mean?
The Breakfast Club stuff. Oh, that was.
Don't feed into the drama. Like, you and I, we're not perfect. I admit I'm a piece of shit. We have shit to work on, right?
Me too.
Well,
we have better shit to worry about. You know what I mean?
I agree with you there. Well, I didn't even have a channel back when that drama happened. The drama that's going on now, and I don't really want to talk about it, like because I don't want it to escalate.
Well, that's the best thing. Yeah, exactly. Don't escalate it. Drop it if you can.
Yeah.
Exactly.
The stuff with Jamie has been worked out a long time ago, and because she got mad at me, it got brought up again.
Jamie does it to herself at this point. I mean, I'm not going to deny that.
But my rule about that is not to engage any longer. If there's something you want to know about, like, I'll be glad to talk about it to you or explain it to you privately, but I don't want to do it on here because I don't want that to go any further than it already had. But I'll be glad to clear up anything that you want to talk about, privately. That's good. Like, you can DM me on Discord or send me an email or something. I'll be more than glad to. But anyway, as far as this thing with my mods, it was just something fun because I love the movie The Breakfast Club. And so...
And Brian, this is how you got this is why I told you to come over.
Yeah. Let me see.
My mods just decided that they were going to take on also the main characters of The Breakfast Club and throw out quotes from the movie here and there. And there's that scene where the girl who plays the basket case throws out the geek's personal info, and she stole his wallet and all that. So one of my mods was quoting that, and she was like, "Brian, your middle name is blah blah blah, and this is your social security number." And she said that she found it out because she stole his wallet. And Space Monster, well, first of all, one of her biggest platforms is this person's a troll, that person's a troll, trolls are evil, alts are evil, blah, 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 blah. So she was watching, I guess, my stream and furiously screenshotting everything she saw. So she screenshots this quote here up on the screen, and she's telling people that we're doxing you.
Me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's not me.
I just think we as a whole, like as a community, should move away from like people's information and shit like that.
Oh, that's a quote from The Breakfast Club, the movie. It's nobody's real information.
That's not me. My birthday is August the 7th. I'm 6'1", and I'm 230 pounds, and that's definitely not my social security number.
Right. Exactly. It is Brian Johnson from The Breakfast Club, who is the geek, and played by Anthony Michael Hall. So it's a fictional person, but the funny thing and the real punchline to the story is that if you look at the very bottom there, it says chat publicly as Angry Fennell. And that was Space Monster's screenshot. She took that screenshot. So she was actually in a troll account at the time that she took this screenshot, and this is the woman who preaches constantly about how trolls are evil and alts are evil and all that shit.
Well, who's the Allison Reynolds person?
That was one of my mods. Allison Reynolds is a character from The Breakfast Club.
Right, the Allison. But why? How? I just don't know how my name got in it.
It was stupid. Space Monster was saying we were doxing you because of that quote. That's all.
No, that's not me. My name's spelled with a Y.
There you go. So we debunked another one.
For a reason, she was trying to make people hate me, and she was looking for any reason she could possibly find to make people hate me, and that was it.
As many times as I've been doxxed on here, people should know that I get doxxed like every week. Sometimes I just come on here and dox myself.
Man, but like to the extent that I don't fuck with it anymore, and like I don't want anyone. You know, there's some friends that might have been like swatted or doxxed or whatever. I don't want any like.
Oh man,
we just move past it, you know.
Yeah, I agree. If you've ever I think you haven't spent a lot of time. You've only been here like when a couple of drama things.
I'm just in fucking a weirdo misfit RDA kind of weirdo.
If you check out some of my past lives, like we don't generally deal with this stuff, and I don't like if you look at my alts, I'll screen share and show them if anybody wants, but like my
no, see, that's the thing. You don't have to go to that level. Like nobody wants to see receipts or like screenshots or anything. We don't care. Like,
well, I'm just saying, like I do everything publicly. It's so funny because like
you have a problem with someone, BCF, like you keep it personal, like you keep it to that on that level. You know what I mean? You don't have to bring their family.
I just don't know why
any of that shit.
I don't do that. That's the funny thing. If I argue with somebody,
that's what you're being accused of, and that's like
I know it's bullshit. It's bullshit.
I just don't know. I just can't get how my name got in it because look, I'm glad
because everybody wants to meet you,
but I don't know you.
Yeah, I know. At the
I've
time,
seen Rev around before, and I know Robbie, but I just don't know how my name got in it.
Yeah, I know you a little bit.
I'm mystified about that as you are, Brian. Because nice to meet you, by the way.
Brian,
our first time.
Yeah, I saw it.
Also, the reason I message you is because we're talking about Space Monster. This is a woman that should be live right now. She should have been live like an hour ago to expose all of us, right? She's not even going live anymore. She canceled it. One of the main reasons is because while I was live, Space Monster has this big conspiracy that the Glare and Granny Fanny are the same person. So while I was on panel with the Glare, I text Granny Fanny and I said, hey, can you go ahead and come on up here so we could prove you're not the same person? He did that within 10 minutes. It was resolved. Okay, so here's another thing we're debunking. You came up here, we're resolving this. Space Monster's ammunition is slowly being taken away from her, but it's not even real ammunition. It's bullshit. Do people get who this person is? She's a bullshitter.
Yeah. Yeah, that's definitely not me. So,
and it's stuff like this, Rev. Like that's where rumors like that are coming from. People who jump to conclusions and then spread that shit, and then people who believe what they're told without coming to me and asking what happened, getting to the bottom of it, doing research of their own. Asking
I don't even think that's.
I can agree. I think
that's a real social security number. To be honest,
people take the shit way too far.
It's probably not a real social security number actually, because it's part of the movie. So they probably just made it up. Honestly.
Okay. Well, somebody's having fun, I guess. I don't know. Trolls.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I mean, we had a lot of fun with that.
There's Granny Fanny in the chat.
Will Fanny, yes.
I see the glare. I know the glare. And I was over on Robbie's watching what was going on over there. So I see it's kind of a shit show, but hey, drama sells around here,
It's true.
Well, not really, because Space Monster is trying to come back. People she left because nobody likes her. So she's trying to come back and she's trying to grasp on maybe to a hot topic that's going on right now. Maybe that's why she grabbed my name because, Mommy Ramblings doesn't like me so much. So that's a close hot topic that she could grab onto and milk that on her channel, but nobody gives a fuck.
I
stopped going over to Mommy Ramblings after all this, really. Yeah.
Well,
it's sad. It's sad that she's just running on innuendos. I feel sorry for what happened to her and her family, but going at Marianne and going at Robbie, it's like, no, thank you.
Maybe she needs somebody bad in her endo. I don't know.
But I'm not going to go say anything to her, Robbie.
Oh, no. I mean, nobody should be harassing anybody. Nobody should be harassing anybody, and that's my point. When I get mad, I cuss people out, but it's because they're coming over to me. I don't go. Do you
it stays on that level though. You don't need to bring their family and all that kind of shit.
I hate
right, Rep, exactly, yeah. No,
that's what gets me constantly is that people come at me and they accuse me of shit, and then when I defend myself, somehow that makes me a bully. Dude, somebody put a channel and called it Breakfast Club Heroin Junkie and put pictures and the names of my family on videos.
And
when I got mad about it, they called me a bully.
Yeah, they do that to me all the time too. People pick at me, and then when I go back at them, I'm like,
Brian, that's because you are a heroin junkie. Just admit it.
I am. I got a needle sticking in my arm right now. I'm dozing off as we speak.
But what I'm saying is, like, I've had that shit done to me, and they're going to sit there and accuse me of going after.
So it's happened to you in the past, like you've been doxxed and swatted, I'm guessing.
I've never been swatted, but I've had the fuck doxed out of me. Like I've been doxed to the point where I actually did a live where I doxed myself so people would quit doing it to me.
I've had to do that too. I
have too, but like you shouldn't do unto others what has been done to you. You know what I'm saying?
That's the thing, though. That's the thing is people are taking shit like the screenshot I just showed and saying that's what I'm doing. I have never put anybody's personal information out there, something that would get them in trouble, get them swatted, something that could be traced back to them. I've never done that. I could go in, like I said, if you want to discuss, like go into all the minute details, like I'll gladly do it with you. Some of it has already been discussed on here ad nauseum, and I'd rather not,
Can you, I don't mean to cut you off, but can you just put a link in the chat for Space Monster in case she's not comfortable to speak on her own channel to come over here and maybe address her ghosts or skeletons?
Is there a way? Is there a way that you guys can come to some kind of resolve with this person, or is it beyond?
No, that would be great. That would be great.
I have tried with her, and the thing is like she is one of those people who will claim to not have a problem with you, and then like go to people. Behind your back, like message friends and threaten your friends and things like that.
Oh yeah, she thinks that my friends aren't going to come to me and tell me, but she's been doing that for months to me.
I don't know.
She'll tell my friends, Robbie's in some secret. And what's funny is how come when I show my mean side that it's not okay, but when everybody else does, that's just fucking human emotion. Like I'm supposed to be a programmed robot to be some saint all the fucking time, which I never claimed to be. People claim me to be.
We won't hold
Brian even
be yourself, bro.
I hate to see.
Friend, and he's like, "Oh my god!" The first time Robbie snapped, I saw his eyes roll in the back of his head like his fucking.
I hate to see you mad, Robbie, but it is funny as fuck when you get mad. I hate to see you get mad though, but
I don't mind that if it's funny, but it
is funny sometimes.
You know why
sorry for somebody while you're laughing at me,
You know why I find it funny? It's because Robbie's so nice and he's so soft-spoken. So when he really gets yelling and stuff, it just sounds so crazy coming from him that it's just like it is kind of funny sometimes just to hear him go off like that.
But see, that's another part of me. That's just another emotion of myself. It's a branch, you know?
Yeah.
Why does the word exposed crack me up? It cracks me up too, Glare. It's like somebody's going to come walking up to you and just pull your pants down while you're standing in front of the class.
Well, now the Glare is on panel. So.
Yeah, he is on panel now.
I'm here to expose everyone. You're all exposed.
I'm going to give everyone a titty twister right now.
Ooh.
Hey, BCF, can you make me a promise, though?
Yeah.
You won't expose anyone. You're not going to dox or SWAT or anything like that.
I will never.
That's all I ask of you.
Never doxed or swatted anybody. And like I said, if there's something that you want to clear up, like we'll do it.
We can do it in DMs,
something personal that may cause other issues right now. But
I don't want any issues with you. I'm just like I don't want you to.
I don't have any problem with anybody.
You're better than that. You can be better than that. You know what I mean?
I don't do that. I've had it done to me enough. So whatever you've heard, I can almost guarantee you it's some kind of bullshit.
That's what's going around. You know what I mean? There's a lot of bullshit being spread around about you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What I have to say about
I want to take it with a grain of salt.
If somebody hears something, they need to come to me about it and ask me about it in private, and we'll discuss it. And I'll be honest with you and tell you exactly what happened. Yeah. I don't lie. Like I own my shit. But as far as like, there are reasons now why I'm not discussing certain things on here. And part of that is because I'm trying to bring an end to the drama, and I don't want to fan those flames anymore. So,
kind of
So
like
you
your
are
Hillary
trying to move
Clinton,
away
but
from it.
she's guilty
You're
and
trying to
you're
move
not.
away from the drama.
yeah.
Guilty or not? Okay. See,
There have
that's
been people
the
that have
first
been
step.
coming at me relentlessly, and I have blocked them.
You don't need that though. Like, you know what I mean? Like I was saying earlier, we don't need that shit.
Yeah.
Right?
I mean, you've probably seen some of it in chat, and like you can see them saying things to me and me not responding. Like that's how I'm rolling with this. Like I'm refusing to even acknowledge it because it's
See, I think you can make a right turn. You can make a pivot here, and you can actually like do something.
my pivot is not reacting because my thing is like it's my natural instinct to defend myself when somebody goes after me.
Yeah, same here. Obviously, it's
Yep.
me. It's Rev.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've seen Rev get into it before.
Yeah, yeah. But
he was over there in Starlights, and they kept on blocking him and shit.
They're gonna bring up my dead mom. I'm gonna fucking fight to the death. You know
oh
what I
yeah,
mean?
Of course, I don't blame you.
Yeah, that's not okay. But my thing now is just learning to ignore and not respond and not engage, and that's how I'm choosing to roll with this.
Good. See, that's the first step. Good job. I'm proud of you, actually.
Yeah, it takes the power away from it. Now I'll go at somebody for a while, and then when I start ignoring them, it'll piss them off a little bit more. But if you don't respond to it, eventually they go away. Trust me, I've had people come after my job, my house, my car.
Yeah, actually, and that drives them crazy even more too when you don't acknowledge it.
I've literally seen people
trying to do literally is they're trying to elicit a response from you.
Right.
So as soon as you respond, then you give them exactly what they're looking for.
Yeah. Yeah. And I've seen this.
That's exactly what they want. They want a reaction, dude. And that's
right.
Kind of like
one guy does lives about me all the time, and I never respond. And they go, "Yeah, you're just begging for his attention." I sit back and laugh. I never even respond, and then he finally went on. So usually, if you don't respond, it takes a lot of restraint to be able to do that. Though, be honest with you.
Oh, it does. Like a part of me right now is just dying, just because of what Rev mentioned to like explain everything. But like I said, I'm not going to do it because I don't want the attention.
You don't need to do it. Like, don't do it to yourself. Don't bring the attention to yourself. Like, you're better than that. You can be better than that. Trust me.
It really is. It really does. Once you succeed in not responding and they go away, you get a sense of self gratification in that. Really. Like, I won with no argument, and that's hard to do. It really is.
It really is. It really is, especially when some of the things that are being said are really vile and nasty.
I moved away from it. Like, they were talking shit about my mom, all that shit. Like, I'm sure a lot of you have seen it, you know. But honestly, since I've been like doing my own thing, it's been pretty.
Well, Rev, here's the thing, Rev. If you're on a shock humor show, they're gonna do the.
No,
shock.
I understand that. Yeah, of course. But I don't know. Like, I just kind of wanted to move away from it because I didn't really have time to even grieve over my dead mother. You know what I mean?
Yeah, sorry to hear that, brother. And it takes a long time, man. But don't let people will find what pisses you off, and they'll go for that reaction. Trust me, I know. You can see reaction videos of me.
I've seen that. Yeah, I know.
Fuck out, dude.
Yeah, just the way that people try to always go after, because I'm kind of new in recovery, and people always want to go after that whenever they get mad at me. Okay, well, you're a junkie. All right, well, I already said that. So what's your point?
Yeah.
But
I get irritated. I get irritated with mass ignorance, not individual ignorance so much. But when it's like a large group of people thinking the same wacky ass way, I'm like, what?
I have no idea what you're talking about.
I can't wrap my head around that. Well, I'm saying my point is I don't when it's one person, it just doesn't really bother me. But I get worked up on my channel when it comes to a lot of people thinking the same way. It's kind of weird. Like I look at it as a strange phenomenon that annoys me. But like one individual person, like for some reason that just never bothers me. It doesn't matter what they say about me. I just don't care. I don't know why.
Man, when you get a mob of people, I haven't really seen you get too worked up though before.
Dude, I've gone
I get worked up over. Yeah.
Oh, granted, I don't watch him constantly though, but I've seen his. I've seen his stuff.
Oh yeah,
pretty level-headed dude, really. To be honest with you.
Yeah, he is.
I think
I try to be.
No, he can. Will can be a dick, just like Brian can, just like I can, just like Rev. You know, Rev is very upfront, kind of blunt, kind of guy.
You know, I can be a huge piece of shit, but dude, I'm just like defending myself at the end of the day. But I keep it at that level. I don't really care about their family, where they live, any of that
Right.
shit.
Well, me
Yeah,
either. And what gets me is like somebody goes after me or accuses me of something, and I'll lay it all out logically and show them how ridiculous whatever it is they're saying is, or how I always go about it with logic and fact, and people don't like that. Like you can go back and like even on my drama lives, like I don't say something against somebody unless I have absolute proof of what I'm saying.
What happens often with that is when you approach something rationally and logically, versus someone who's being irrational and illogical. The inevitable outcome is that they're faced with the fact that they're being irrational, and they're faced with the fact that they're acting, thinking illogically, and then they don't want to admit it, and then they get, personal, and they get insulting, and they get, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
it happens every time.
Like
it's an inevitable outcome. It happens every single time.
Yeah, that's where I've gotten most of my hate from. Like there was I'm not going to say who it was, but there was a live when there was somebody who hated me, and I was on panel with him, and I spoke to them very respectfully, very calmly. I didn't yell, I didn't cuss, I didn't call them names. I just spoke to them like a person, and they screamed and yelled and called me all kinds of names all through the whole thing, and just ended up like making an ass out of themselves, basically. And like they've taken it upon themselves to like go after me in a hard way. And they say I bullied them when they did it all to themselves. Like they were the ones screaming and carrying on and acting like a lunatic, but somehow that's my fault. It amazes me.
I was in Robbie's. I was on Robbie's channel before this.
Love you, Jenna.
And I was talking about a situation. I'm not going to mention the name now. There's no need to. But I was talking about a situation, and then this person, all they did was just prove to me why I did not want to associate myself with them. And their whole thing was the fact that they were pissed off that I didn't want to associate myself with them. But while I'm explaining this person is cussing me out in all caps in the chat. So I'm like, well, how is this even a question? Why is this even, you know what I'm saying? Why is my motives right now being questioned?
Right.
It's clear that that's not the dynamic I'm looking for with other people. So, and I explain that, and then the person proves me right. You know what I'm saying? And then
you love it when you call somebody an idiot and they open their mouth and prove it to you.
Right.
And they're the ones who end up calling you a bully because they prove themselves to be a jackass. And
there's so many fucking bullies within the community.
Yeah.
I'm fucking tired of them.
Yeah,
I really am.
Yeah. I'm labeled a bully, but
me too.
I think people know.
I mean, there's a difference between breaking someone's balls and like actually like bullying and peeking into someone's personal life and shit. Nah, I don't.
That's insane.
Yeah,
that's insane. It's insane to me that people get that fucking involved.
The things that earn me the label of a bully, like it's all me defending myself. Like there was a video that was made calling me all kinds of names, accusing me of all kinds of stuff, and I simply responded to it. Like I took the things that
I don't blame you for responding to it. Like, you were just trying to defend yourself, right?
Right.
Exactly. Yeah, I understand
and somehow, like in the people who made the video that I responded to, in their minds, somehow that made me a bully because I responded to it and defended myself.
There's a lot of bad shit going around about you.
I know.
Rumors.
I've said I'm just the first time I've met her. I don't think I've seen her anywhere. Everybody else up here, I've seen you guys around, but I don't think I've seen her before.
I've seen you in a few chats, I think, but we've never actually like really talked. Like it was chats that had a lot of people in it, like some RDA chats and stuff, I think.
Yeah, I go over there sometimes. Yeah.
Yeah, and I've been on Robbie for a while. Like I've been in a few chats. We've just never had a reason to interact. But like I don't fuck with people, and the people that are good to me, I'm good to them.
That's the way I
And
do.
if I don't like you, I just go on down the road. I don't fuck with people I don't like.
Well,
I
see,
just
that's all it is. Just move
understand.
on. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, yeah.
I don't
I'm the
understand
same
why
way.
people who decide they don't like me can't do the same thing.
Yeah.
You know, and that's my motto. If somebody says I hate you, you're a cunt, whatever, I say, okay, you go your way, I'll go mine.
Yeah,
Yeah.
man, we're not allowed to call women cunts on here.
Oh, I
They
use
can
that
call
word
them
all
whatever
the
they want.
No, Brian,
yeah,
you're not allowed to call
time.
It's
It
a lot
doesn't
to get me to
matter.
use that word.
I
way
gave up on that though. If they come at me, I don't care who doesn't like it. If they're calling me all kinds of names, they're gonna get it right back. I don't care anymore.
Well, my take on that word, and I know a lot of people are offended by it, but fuck it, it's my channel. I think if women can call a man a dick, then
Well, what they say to us is they don't understand how we could say that to them.
I don't know.
I don't know. I mean, to me, like
I can't even
always,
explain why I don't think it's the same thing. But
well, because dicks are a lot more pretty and they smell a lot better than cunts.
Here's my thing. Words are words, and they only mean what you put into them and what you take out of them. And there is no way a swear word is ever going to offend me or piss me off.
Well, check it out now. If these women are coming at men and they're calling you a fucking dick and all that, what they want is to make you mad.
Right.
Okay. Right. So when they make you mad and you come back at them and you call them the same type of language, we just gave you what you wanted.
Right.
Well, and then
Will and I were talking about this earlier. There's 4 men on panel for like once and 1 woman. This never happens. Okay. We're outnumbered in the community. Brian, you know this. Will, you know this. Rev, I think you've probably experienced this. I've never seen you be mean or argue with somebody. Well, except for maybe Jamie sometimes, but it's not like you're attacking a woman. People who have emotions, who offend each other, are going to respond to each other. But I'm sick and tired of people using the excuse that Brian St. John hates women, or that I attack women, or that Will, I don't know if they've ever said Will attacks women or Rev, but it's not fair. That statement is not fair because we are outnumbered in this community, period.
I love women, but I can't stand a bitch. And that's
the feminist.
I love women, but if you want to be, if you classify yourself as a woman, that means you're going to be respectful, loving, honest, have empathy. But when you're calling a man all kinds of different names, you have stepped out of women. You've stepped out of lady, and you've stepped into bitch. Period. If you're going to act that way, now what a man should never do is put their hands on a woman. But if they're just throwing words, like when somebody's throwing words at me, my feelings can get hurt just like hers.
Yeah.
I mean, so if I'm throwing them back at her, I'm not looking at a female. I'm looking at another human being who's being disrespectful to me. Period.
Yeah. Well, I have
No, I wouldn't go that far.
At the man-woman thing.
In general.
I don't think a man should put his hands on a woman, but I think if a woman physically.
I'll be right back. I gotta go buy a pack of cigarettes. I'll be back.
Okay, you're good.
Yeah.
But I think if a woman, hey Joe, I think if a woman comes at a man physically, the man has the right to defend himself.
We have to remain, even in that, we have to.
But like, you have to take the moral level or perspective into account there.
Yeah.
Even if she comes at you, like it's a mother, you know what I mean? A lot of the times, or like a lady.
Yeah.
If she's being a lady, she would never put her hands on another human being.
You know, that is a good point. True.
I'm a firm believer in not dishing
As
it
a
out.
man, you shouldn't really respond to that.
You try not to. If you get one that's coming at you crazy and just smacking you all crazy, you don't want to punch her like you would another man. You might want to grab her. You might want to hold her at bay.
I understand that for sure. But
because if you got a woman that's hitting on you and you just back away and do the right thing, which is when another human being assaults you, you call the police. They're going to look at you like you're stupid. You know, this little woman hit you and you called us. Well, I said, what you want to do? Break your nose?
All of a sudden, you're a cuck because he called the cops on this chick.
And that's why you're supposed to put your hands on you. You're supposed to walk away and call the police. But they don't work that way. It doesn't work that way.
Right.
Run from it.
We have a new guy on the channel. I don't think we know each other, do we, Joe?
He's just sitting there listening.
Yeah, I'm thinking it in. I'm sorry.
That's all right. What's up?
Nothing. I like I said, I'm taking it in. I'm
Just taking it in. All right. Well, feel free to chime in. We're an outspoken crowd.
what?
So we're an outspoken
Conversation,
crowd.
you can chime in.
No,
Feel free.
yeah.
Whenever you're ready, you're good.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. My
Well,
wife,
that's all right. You might have to get a little loud so we can hear you.
say what?
But yeah, as far as YouTube goes, an argument, like if a girl slings words at a dude, like sling him back, like argue with me, like you have every right.
Oh no, yeah.
I just don't think they should take it to like a personal level. You know what I mean? Like no doxing, swatting. I don't fuck with that shit at all.
Oh,
Yeah, that's crazy.
there's no
Coward
I've
shit.
always
Man. Like,
been under the sense that you don't hit a woman, but like if that woman wants to be in a boxing match with you, you gotta
Hey, would anybody hit Ronda Rousey back?
I mean,
I'm like, no, thank you, Chick. You kicked my ass.
she gets you in that arm bar, it's over, dude.
right. I mean, come on, like that doesn't like
conversation.
make you, that
The whole
doesn't
tone
make you a
changed.
dead fish to that.
Look, man, it's
because-
like this. If you're in the forest, right? And,
Right.
and a bear just outright attacks you,
right.
then you're a victim of a bear attack. But
Right.
if you're in the forest and you're taking a stick and you're poking at that bear, and then that bear mauls you, you don't get to call yourself a victim of a bear attack.
Ding, ding, ding,
Does that make sense?
ding, ding, ding.
Yeah, that's pretty on par with what we're talking about here.
Yeah, that's
I'm
pretty
not
much
saying
how I
it's-
look at it.
Saying it's justified. Nobody should be putting their hands on anyone. I'm not saying it's justified.
Yeah, you really
But what I am saying is you do not get to call yourself a victim of being battered if you're hitting this person or constantly trying to elicit an
I'm taking
emotional.
notes, Claire. I'm writing that down, my brother. I'm going to use that one.
So
I agree.
In the woods is what I'm going to
If a female kicks you in the junk, then you have every right to kick the thing. Like I was brought up actually, like taught that. Like don't ever let a guy hit you, but if you kick him in the junk, I'm not defending your ass. That's pretty much.
Well,
get for that.
here's-
Hey, you going to kick it right back. It hurts them just as much as it hurts us to get kicked in the junk.
Here's the thing: is I've been on Earth long enough at this point to where I've gotten pretty good at not surrounding myself with people who are likely to kick me in the junk. So I have a pretty good, developed a judgment of character to where I don't really have to worry about getting my
it only
junk.
happened to me once, like
I'm gonna use that, Claire, and I'm gonna tell them, Claire is the one that came up
for a couple
with
days, but we
You
got
can use whatever you want, man. That'd be good.
I'll put it. That's a good analogy. Like if you poke the bear, he's gonna turn around and maul you.
yeah, dude.
And it's not because the bear is bad. It's
There ain't
because
no
the bear
charge.
is poked.
Right. Well, I mean, all I'm saying is you don't get to call yourself a victim of a bear attack. Is all I'm saying. I'm not even saying it's okay for the bear to.
Somebody,
Jimmy, are you out there? Are you listening? Are you taking notes?
We're people. Like we're an evolved species. We should be able to have enough self-control to not allow ourselves to get to a point to where we react physically to anything.
that would be a good quality but it would be hard to do, especially on social media, for a lot of people. Not everyone. Some people can just
Should be.
Somebody in the chat was mentioning this video that went around, and I remember this. I don't know if you all do or not, but this chick, and I'm thinking that her fiance or husband was like really red. They got into an argument. She went into another room and was like striking herself and like tore her hair out and punched herself in the face and shit, and then called the cops and said he beat her.
Oh.
Do you remember that case? Like I saw the video when it went around. It was really crazy, and he actually went to jail for it. But he had a camera. They had a nanny camera or something on, and he caught her.
My wife.
I mean, I'm not gonna lie. The double standards do get on my nerves at times, but
It's stupid. It's fucking stupid.
It's almost a crime to be a man on YouTube. It really is.
Amen.
You know,
It is if you engage in
Yeah,
conflict.
you can't. Yeah, you're right. You just don't engage if you run into it. But that's and look, I'm the worst one for it. I always lose my temper.
I
Yeah,
end up. What
exactly.
happens? What
That's
happens
my
to me
whole
is I get pissed off. I get pissed off for other people. Like people could attack me all they want, and I just for real, it doesn't really bother me. But
See, I get pissed
but
off
whenever,
at myself and other people.
yeah, like when somebody
It's not
messes with
healthy,
one of my
man.
mods, I
It's
get
really not healthy
because
for me.
I'm married, and I tie my hair behind my back.
And I tear my hair back in the bun.
I tie my hands behind my back, and I'm like, please.
I tell you what, brother.
Here we, right.
You know what putting your hair in a ponytail also signifies, right? That's about to go down.
oh yeah, taking off your earrings. Like in the 90s, we all wore those big.
Yeah, I'm checking my hair into the tail right now.
Yo, that's the current fashion, like the mask. You just hang it down off one side of your ear.
In the 90s, I remember like in school, we all wore these big hoop earrings. And man, if a girl took off her earrings, you knew it was go time. Like that was always the big sign that some hair pulling and scratching.
Yeah, the guy starts taking his watch off. Yeah,
You would like that, wouldn't you, BCF?
yeah.
Yeah, I know you do.
Yeah.
I
A little
can
hair
read you.
pulling never hurts.
Yeah.
Says, I don't feel that way at all. Who is getting so butthurt to be hating men? It's not just men, Mignon, really. Like the way people go after people on here, like I'm amazed still.
Going after
I
you.
started one live in January was when I did my first live. And I'm still amazed at how hateful people are on here sometimes.
They're really shitty, aren't they? Yeah, but
Yeah.
you can't contribute to it. That's what I'm saying. Like,
it's horrible.
you have to clear yourself of this
You're-
doxing and
you're
squatting
so
accusations and
sad.
everything else, you know?
I
You're
don't
so
fuck with any of that.
sad that
Well, that's
what,
good.
your
Don't,
YouTube
please.
No, I
hasn't
don't.
blown up yet.
I get shit for that because I get shit for that. I get shit for that because I've done it. But there's been like my trick with the doxing is
fucking stupid.
well, I get people doxing themselves if they're coming at me. But yeah, the community came at me really hard about it, so I quit doing that shit. Really.
You can't. Like,
Yeah,
I know, and I mean,
tough.
I'm
It's shitty.
really mad and really hurt by people. And in my experience,
Right,
people are
because
more.
her fucking YouTube has not blown up yet. Yeah, we get that.
Because
That's
my
why-
YouTube, no, it has nothing to do with my YouTube not blowing up. I don't care about that.
Well, then stop fucking crying about it.
I'm not crying about my YouTube not
You
blowing
are
up. Where did you
crying
get that, dude?
That's
I don't know where you
exactly
got that
what you're
from.
doing.
I don't know.
You're crying about your fucking YouTube channel
When was I crying about my YouTube channel?
right now.
Are you just here to troll, dude? Like seriously?
No, I'm here to troll. I'm here to troll. You're not here to boost your fucking subs.
When did I say a thing about boosting my?
Oh my fucking god!
So what's
All right,
the
all right,
okay?
I'm
Hold
gonna
on.
turn you loose.
Hold on. So what's the no? Let him. You know, he's gonna talk. I mean, you're on panel with 4 other people, man. So, I got a question for you. Why would somebody? That's kind of the whole point. Why criticize somebody for trying to boost their channel? I mean, you have a YouTube channel for a reason, right? Why not? What's the issue with that? Exactly.
Are you asking me?
Yeah. I mean, you're obviously
Because she's coming on your fucking shit to boost her shit.
This is my channel, dude.
It's not your channel.
Yeah.
This
This
is
is not
my
your channel. This is not your channel.
Oops.
Wow. You don't even know where
Sorry,
you are right
dude.
now, man.
Sorry,
No.
dude. You don't even know where the fuck you're at, man.
I don't.
I mean, come on, man. Don't give
This
people
is
advice.
not your channel.
Yeah,
This
this
is my channel. I'm BCF,
It's not
dude.
your channel.
I think you just had
Okay.
it.
You do not belong on this channel.
You're gonna tell someone else they don't belong on this fucking channel, dog. You just
On my own
Who
channel.
the hell are
Come
you?
on, dude. Look down at the screen, man. It says it's got her name on it, man. It's right there.
My own
She
channel.
doesn't belong on this channel.
No, I thought you don't belong on the channel, man. I'm
Why
like,
do I belong?
I'm a YouTube celebrity, bro.
God, man. Hey, I'll have what he's having. What kind of weed you smoking, dude? Some of that shit.
No. I'm smoking weed. That dude's fucking drunk.
I got you. I got everything.
All right.
What are you drinking?
Smoke, I drink,
Madam,
I fucking
madam,
smoke
I'm
cigarettes.
All right. I apologize.
No,
Thank you for your apology, man. I accept that.
apologize.
Yeah, dude. Right on. That was very big of you to
hope
apologize.
that
Right
you
on.
get
Good man, good man.
channel.
you try to troll, man. You gotta know where you're at if you go troll.
I'm not trolling anything. I just want BCF to stop like threatening people.
I don't know where you're getting that from, Rev. Just don't believe everything you hear.
I'm not trying to bring anything here. I'm being pretty chill, to be honest.
I know. That's why I'm talking, and I'm not getting mad. But I'm just saying, don't believe everything you hear. Just because people say it, don't make it true.
All right. Fair enough.
Yeah, and like I said, if there's something else that makes you believe that, then we'll talk about it in private. I'm going by the don't engage thing, so I'm trying not to inflame or make other situations worse. But
That's good.
you know, if there's something you want to know about, then we can talk about that in private. I'm more than glad to talk about whatever it is you want to know. I'll tell you, and I'll be honest with you. But all I can say is, like, anything you've heard about doxing or swatting or any of that bullshit, it ain't true. Number one, and number two, it probably came from some bullshit like the screenshot I showed earlier.
I feel like it takes so much work to do that, though.
Yeah,
I can't even do. I don't even
thing with the internet these days.
I don't even have the
easy.
patience.
Someone gives a
It's
fuck.
scary
To report.
Yeah. Well, you know what else really
I
gets
don't even
me?
have the patience to report someone for content for copyright violation. I
Right.
don't even have the patience for that. It's such a process. So, like, I don't understand going through all the trouble to try to find out who someone is, where they are,
creator,
call the cops.
Shitty string.
You know what's really getting to me and what's really aggravating me about a lot of this is that people make an accusation and then they put it on you to prove that it's not true. And trying to prove the absence of an act is...
But you take on that burden. It's not like somebody put that burden on you. You had to pick up that burden.
I'm not responding to
So, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Is I would just blame
Yo,
that shit on.
BCF, the one time though, like I talked to Jamie and she got really pissed off. Like I was talking you up.
Yeah.
I thought you and Nikki were funny together, and she got really pissed.
Well,
and she told me that you like doxed her or something.
Well, that's been explained ad nauseum, and I have absolute 100% proof that that what I said was true. But out of respect for Robbie's friendship with Jamie, I'd rather not get into any kind of talk that's going to involve me saying something nasty about her.
Well, and
that's respectful.
I wanted to say hi to Joe because I haven't met him before, and I wasn't listening to you guys while I went across the street. But I wanted to say, like, Will and I kind of experienced that. I experienced that, and so does everybody else on probably a daily basis, where you have friends that are, they have mixed emotions for each other. So it is uncomfortable, but it's not uncomfortable for me because Jamie knows how I feel about her. I'm always very, I try to be neutral, which is a bad thing, right? It's a fence rider, but if you're gonna say,
I wouldn't say that's a bad thing, dude. Like, she's a mother. That's what you have to take into account. That's a mother.
Okay, Rev, first of all, Jamie's been gone for like a month. She's not around.
And good for her.
Number two, the stuff that happened between Jamie and I was like 6 months ago.
I'm not trying to like fucking
hold on, let me
under the bus or anything.
Let me finish. The stuff between Jamie and I happened 6 months ago. We hashed it out. Everything was supposedly okay. It's only an issue again now because she's angry with me. She was my buddy, and we were going up on panels together, and we were absolutely fine right before that.
Who
so
are you talking about?
she got over whatever happened and only chose to make it an issue again because she got mad. And in my opinion, it's an attention-getting thing.
Oh, of course it is with her. It always
is. Because if you go back and you listen, I'm not talking about screenshots, receipts, Discord conversations. I'm talking about what happened on video. You'll see the truth of what really happened. And I'm talking about the interactions between herself and I. And like I said, I've got proof that what I posted up there was not her information, and I just would rather not
But
go.
why would you even post it,
here.
like, even if it wasn't her information?
There's a long story behind that, like I said, and it was something that if I had to do over, I wouldn't do again. And I've said that many times before
See,
too.
that's the okay.
Okay.
I respect
So,
that. Yeah.
At the time that happened, I'd been on YouTube for like 2 months, all of 2 months. And I had no idea what a backlash it was going to cause. So I've said that, like, I wish I'd stayed the fuck out of it because it wasn't my business. I have a reactionary nature and I tend to get mad on people's behalf a lot. And it was something I should have stayed out of. But what it's being made out to be, it wasn't what it's being made out to be either. You see what I'm saying? Like, it's being taken and twisted into a big thing that it never really was. It was never an issue, actually, until I actually started going live almost 2 months later. And when I asked her about that on a panel, I said, you know, it didn't even bother you. You didn't have an issue. You were fine for like 2 months. And then all of a sudden it was an issue. Her response was, well, you didn't have a channel then.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know,
It's it's a jungle out there.
out, and it was supposed to be
General, but
the issue was supposed to be a done deal, buried and over with.
okay. Yeah.
And she chose to resurrect all that, you know.
Can I kind of like move, because like the purpose of your live was kind of to see what Space Monster had to say, which has something to do with Mommy Ramblings, because she has a part to do with this, even though she claims she doesn't. So while I was going over to the gas station, I wasn't listening to you guys. I had a chance to listen on fast forward on a higher speed of what Mommy Ramblings was saying earlier, and
we were all like, "Fuck Robbie." Robbie
I know.
sucks.
Yeah,
all of us. We had a whole shit talking Robbie fest.
Well, I don't know if
fuck
I'm,
that
am I allowed to speak on that really fast?
Yeah, go for it.
No.
You have the
Not
stage.
allowed.
No, let him have the stage. Come on, Rob.
The only thing that I would rather not talk about is just the current drama, you know, involving the one person that you know about, but everything else is okay to talk about.
Oh, okay. So I was listening, and, you know, she was mentioning of, you know, because I've been speaking about this the last probably 72 hours again. And, you know, she was saying, you know, this person, I forget what she called me, some stupid passive aggressive name, but she said, he's saying that one of my lives has one of the biggest views on my channel. And then she goes on to brag about some of her videos have almost 1 million views. So I wanted to comment on that if I could, just simply to say that, you know, she's saying that the whole reason she had me on her panel the night of the Chris Watts drive was to do some phone pings. And she asked me to call her on her personal cell phone to get some pings so we could match them up with Nicole Kissinger's phone. So what she's blaming me of now on her live earlier, is what I just listened to, is of milking it, of getting 1,000 subscribers overnight from her, which is not even half my subscriber count on my channel. So she's taking ownership of that, and I give it to her. Thank you for that. But here's the thing. She's saying that. And then he continues to email me and saying, oh, I got phone pings. I got the phone report. Yeah. And you know what? I paid $75 for that phone report that she requested me to get. Did I ever get reimbursement for that? No. That's what they wanted me to do. So there's that. And then also one thing I want to point out, and I'm not bashing Carolyn, but I am responding to what I just heard on her live earlier today, is she says, a lot of my videos have almost 1 million views. So if she's claiming that me or anybody else uses her name to get views, the videos of hers that have almost 1 million views involve Chris Watts' name. Okay, you're using a murderer to get views. I'm using somebody who I thought was my friend, not using them to get views because she asked me to do her a favor. So there's a big difference with that. Nobody asked Chris Watts to do them favors. Nobody asked him to kill his family so she could build her channel. So there's that. I just wanted to say that.
Yo, Amanda, fuck you. If you can hear me, Amanda, fuck you. Sorry.
Hi, Joe, by the way. I'm Robbie.
Just a little tipsy. He talked to us.
No, not really. I just say whatever the fuck I want. I do whatever the fuck I want. You know that.
Who is that? Is that Rev? What's going on?
That's Rev.
I don't know. This Manda chick is apparently talking shit, and I'm just kind of telling her to go fuck herself. You know?
Yeah.
Go fuck yourself.
She does that.
Let's not be nasty.
Isn't it funny though, Breakfast, that there's
but
three different men on panel that have been accused of attacking women and nobody's attacked you yet on here? Isn't that funny?
I know.
I'm not trying to attack you.
I tell you what though, Robbie, if she started saying, "Who is that Brian, that fat motherfucker?"
Oh, Brian would call you a cunt in a second flat.
I'll give it back to you.
I'm a redneck, and I'm from a place where we go mud.
Well, and you're a Taurus, so you get along with it.
DTF, all I'm asking, I'm just here to ask you not to, do not dox or swat people, please.
Look what's happening.
Because I don't even have anything against you. I just, I'm looking out for you in a sense, you know?
I don't have a problem with you, but I have specific reasons why I don't want to discuss the issue that you want to discuss on stream.
She's a
That's
douchebag.
good.
And she doesn't want to fucking talk to anybody that's
You're absolutely welcome here. I'll talk about anything with you, but that one issue, there are very specific reasons why I don't want to talk about that. And one of those reasons is not making the situation worse. So once again, if you want to talk about it,
I respect it. Just drop it. We're good.
Okay. If you want to talk in private, we can talk in private sometime, but let's not talk about that here.
Yeah. But let me point something out real quick that I happened to observe just now. Okay, so this person that Rev just addressed, and yeah, he did it rudely, sure. But the thing was, this person I was looking at the chat, and this person was saying things that it's fair to say were attacking him. You know, she was calling him names, basically. So, then he addresses it, and then she's like, "Oh, that's uncalled for." Like, is it uncalled for though? You know what I'm saying? Is it really uncalled for? If she's sitting there and she's in the chat and she's blasting this dude, and then he says, "You know what? Fuck you."
I don't even know her. That's the funny thing. I don't even know her.
How is that uncalled for? And so this person automatically puts themselves in a victim position. You know, I mean, this happens constantly.
It's another fucking.
This happens all the time.
Yeah.
So, and the fact that it was happening in real time, I had to point it out. I had to show, because when you reference it in a past tense, it seems so minor, right? It seems
they're crazy, dude. I don't even know these people. Like, I don't.
It seems like a minor thing, and you're like, why are you getting worked up about that? But the thing is this is one of those things. This is that behavior that people take place in, and they don't take any accountability for their own actions. And then they want to make the other person look like a bad guy when they were clearly trying to elicit a response from them. And when they got the response, they feel attacked. Bullshit.
I don't know that I think she was trying to elicit a response from him. I think that she was trying to tell, because there's somebody in here who's new, and Amanda has been in my channel a lot, and she's heard.
Well, she doesn't know me. She has no fucking business talking about me like that.
Well, I'm just saying, in her defense, she's heard.
Well, I'm gonna fucking defend myself.
Well, I'm just saying, let's keep it civil. You're all people that I like, and so just if you want to disagree, that's fine. If you want to argue, that's fine. Just try and keep it civil between each other, because I don't
even know her. I don't even care. Whatever. It's fine.
All right. I'm just saying, like
I just wanted to point this thing out.
You don't agree with her, but
Will, what have we been doing all night? We've been talking about how communication is key, and Rev is somebody who pops up in many different people's, not just their chat, but their panel. And Rev, kind of like you, Will, like Rev speaks his mind.
Exactly.
Some people,
I speak the truth. I speak my mind. Exactly. Thank you.
Yeah, and he may be looked at to people as entertainment, but at the same time, Rev is on here communicating with people, and like some people say, oh, this isn't real life, it's YouTube. Well, when Rev comes up here on a panel, it's real to him because he's communicating with real people. So I think the thing is a lot of people may look at Rev, just like they do Will, me, Brian, anybody else, as an asshole for speaking his mind. And Rev is pretty blunt. You know, I've seen him before talking to him, and I'm like, damn, this guy's an asshole. But if you actually come up and talk to him, Manda, I'll even step off if you want. You'll see that he's an actual real person. So I don't know what Manda and him have going on, but Rev's.
Absolutely. I don't even know her. I do not know her.
Yeah. I think
You actually hit the nail on the fucking head, though, because that's exactly who I am. Like, if you talk to me on a personal level, it's a completely different story. And
and you're on a public platform, and people think you're just here to entertain people, and that's simply just not the case. It's not fake. It's not scripted. That's just who you are.
right. Well,
I've never scripted anything. Everything I've ever done is improv.
I honestly don't want to. I don't want to be considered anything other than an entertainer on here. Otherwise
you're an asshole. Just kidding.
Well,
you're a piece of shit.
But it entertains.
Fuck out of here, bud.
You know what I'm saying? Even if they love to hate me, I'm entertaining them. You know.
See, but
so
even I don't want that.
See, why would you say that you're entertaining? You just self-proclaimed. Said that you're fucking entertaining. Why?
People keep coming back to his channel to see him. He's got a lot of subs. That's
Sure.
why.
yeah, he does.
Not really.
Yeah.
I don't know, dude. Don't take that route, though, man. Like, don't self-proclaim yourself to be funny. That's not the way to go about it.
No. What I'm saying is, I don't.
The
want
woman's still a cunt.
I don't want people.
The woman's still a cunt.
So seriously, like I'm just somebody on YouTube. You know, like I'm here to hopefully entertain you. I hope you like the channel and enjoy what I put out there.
Well, what you will attract is like-minded people. The people that keep coming back to you, they think the same as you do. And if you have a lot of them or not a lot of them, that's what I come there. My channel's small now. I used to have a bigger channel. But
your personality is bigger than your channel, Brian, so it's not really. People know who you are. You're a dick.
The people keep coming back, so you're entertaining them in some way or another, I think is what you meant.
Yeah.
Pretty much, dude.
Yeah.
And I can pretty much attest to that because I fucking wake up from a dead sleep and I'll hear people talking about rev this, rev that, blah, blah. It's constant.
Mm-hmm.
I heard about that shit. I mean, I saw over in Starlights there was something going on over there, but I don't hear a whole lot of bad stuff about Rev. I do see you getting into arguments, and you sound a lot like me because you will not back the fuck down.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you won't back down, and you shouldn't. If you feel you got a point, and you shouldn't have to cower, be held hostage by no one. But there is consequences for that.
I think Rev is
true.
a lot like Robbie does.
When I know I'm right,
somebody comes at him, he pops off, he tells him off, and then he's like over it, and people don't realize that like the next day, like it's nothing anymore. Fuck you, fuck off, whatever. And but people are still mad like the next day because they got told off.
I'm good at it. I'm really good at it. Robbie's been out of his character.
Well, Brian and I have experienced this. And I don't know if I told you this, Brian, but Justin Katz actually reached out to me and apologized pretty recently, within the last month or so.
Yeah,
I heard very nice.
I heard you say that, and I went over and I checked out his channel, and I was like, "Wow, now this guy's funny."
Yes,
so
and he was funny before. He was, but it
was kind of funny unless it's you. But here's what my suggestion to him was. Even back then, my suggestion was, look, man, you don't do this parody stuff with people that can come and hit you back. Pick a celebrity or a political guy, somebody that's not going to take it so personally. That's
or at least be willing to take the backlash.
Oh yeah, we gave it to him back. He was dragging me and Robbie, and we gave it to him back, and he got upset about that, and caused the man to cry and leave YouTube for a while. But at the same time, I kept telling her, like, dude, I don't know you, and I don't. If you're gonna drag me, I could drag the shit out of somebody. And he obviously had something definitely was going on with his head. And I mailed him. I was like, dude, you might not want to do that with me. I said, I don't know you, and I appreciate it if you stop. So he just kept getting worse and worse and worse. So I did a video, ripped his ass real good. Put Robbie in it too.
And Brian, when Justin came on making fun of me for 2 months, did you hear a peep out of my mouth? Did I run away from YouTube? No. But people like Nene, Nene with her whiny voice, they like to come on here and say that I ran Justin Katz off YouTube. No, I simply replied after 2 months of bullshit.
Well, that's on him. That's on him. If he wants to run off,
And how do you run someone off YouTube?
Nobody's
That's the
bleeding.
choice you make.
I put a parody out of him that was just incredibly.
Who are we talking about?
This
guy.
Katz used to make fun of me like in parodies, and I didn't even say anything, huh, Brian, for like 2 months.
No, and then you find
Everybody-
temper. Well, I've never heard
Everybody
another
talks
gay
to
man.
his
Look,
friends.
I've never heard another gay man on YouTube call a gay man the F word like that. I was like, what the fuck? I was like, come on, man, what the fuck?
Yeah.
I guess if anybody's allowed to use that word, I guess it's a gay person. I don't know.
Well, I mean, it's
I don't
like
That
if
word
you're
doesn't bug
gay,
me though.
why would you condemn somebody else for being the same as you are? I mean, come on, dude. I'm
Well,
like,
and a hotter one, like maybe it's because
It's pretty funny, yeah.
yeah, I don't know, but I tried everything in the world to get this guy to stop messing with me. I was like, I don't know you, dude. I've been here 13 years. You don't play with me up here. And I got it. I got it.
Boondock Saints.
He dragged me about 5 or 6 times, and then I got him so good that he came back home crying. He was like,
when I did, I think because Brian, that was the main reason he made fun of me for it, because I said, everybody get along, everybody be nice, talk things out like I always do. Okay. And then he made me snap. And my head's fucking spun around 3 fucking times in a row.
I'm glad you stuck up for yourself. Fuck you.
Yeah, and that was the first time I ever snapped on YouTube after 9 months of having my account.
well, and then people say don't dox and stuff. This guy was dragging the shit out of me. So I found out where he lived, and I did a review. I never said who it was. I never said this is his place, but it was his place. And the only ones that should have knew that was me and him. So the next video he makes, he's like, "That's my apartment." He doxed me. I said, "No, I didn't."
No, you didn't.
I said, "If you want to play games, he was cracking on my wife, my kids, everything else. I don't even know him." So he kept playing with me, and I warned him, like, "Dude, you don't want to fuck with me." But now,
if you warned him, bro, like, what do you have to worry about?
Yeah, he's aggravating the shit out of me, man.
I gotta take a second and point out that, dude, Brian, your facial hair is kicking, dude. Like that is a mustache.
Oh my god!
Your watch, dude.
Are you kidding me? Dude, have you seen my facial hair?
I love it.
I fucking opposite this guy.
That's my Danny Green, man. I keep the Danny Green, man, because I'm Irish, so that's my Danny Green, man. I keep it. Right now, it's not even.
I'm telling you, my mustache is fucking dank.
Kudos.
No, it's an Irish thing, brother. It really is. There's a lot of us that do that.
I'm Irish too.
Yeah.
I dig that.
No, I'm telling you, I have a fucking beard to make this guy. I want to justice, George Floyd.
Huh? If I grow a beard out, I kind of look like that blonde head.
No, I don't even think you can grow a full beard. Have you seen me?
Huh?
No, I've never seen you, Rev.
No, dude, I'm pretty sure like I encompass this guy.
My beard's gray now.
It took me 30 fucking minutes
just for men on mine.
Earlier. Hairy motherfucker. I'll tell you right now.
If I thought about growing like a single mustache, like Tom Selleck type thing, but first of all, I could never pull it off like him. Mm-hmm. But I realized I'd have to call people things like shit stick, or pal.
Have any of you guys been brave enough to grow a porn stash? Just the mustache? I've never been brave enough.
I can't stand it when it gets on my lip, man. I don't like it. I can't. It can grow out like that, but when it gets on my lip, it drives me nuts. I can't.
I think we should do a porn stash competition. See who has the best one.
And give somebody a mustache ride for the winner, huh?
Yeah.
Fucking quarantine.
Yeah, Starlight's
some of the women's upper hair.
Starlight's in the house.
Starlight's gonna start having. She's not here. I don't see her. But she's gonna start having. She's gonna start having ladies fight nights.
I actually, she had a poll on that, and I actually voted against it. I don't think that would be good for like her personal life. That's why I voted against it on her poll, just because she already has enough bullshit problems. She doesn't need more.
Oh, you voted against the
I did. Yeah, I voted against it.
I would vote against it as well.
Well, they
writing a lot of hate
all the time, but hey, sometimes if you get with somebody that you don't like and you go on a panel and find it out, you're done. That's it. That's the goal. That's the goal.
So
That's her-
is Caleb? I don't know if
Caleb,
is
what's up?
actually
Is he in
gay
the
or
chat? What's up,
I
Caleb?
love Caleb.
Yeah,
He's like one of my
Caleb's
main front. Like Caleb is, and I'm not even talking
He's
about
good, too.
supporters as far
I
as
like it.
people supporting your channel. I will see him in chats and other people's chats defending me, and I'm like, holy shit, Caleb, thank you.
he
I-
makes these really vulgar gay references, and I can't
love
tell
it.
if he's just being,
I
I
love
can't
it.
tell if he's just like joking or if he's actually gay.
He's
But
joking.
it's
Well, what
It's
was
so-
the one you were talking about when
She's
you
awesome.
said that it's, you had a sub who could like go at you and you never took it personally? Was that who you were talking about?
There he is, Caleb Mandrake. What up, bud? How you
oh
doing?
Caleb. No, I don't know about that. I know Caleb. Like Caleb's easily one of my favorite people in my chat because he
Okay.
like. I talk about some deep shit on there sometimes, and he will chime in with like the most insightful comments
Mhm.
right at the right time.
He's
And
a
then
good
he'll
one.
say,
He's a good one. I like him. I
and
like
then he'll make some
So shoot me.
crude reference to sucking people off in glory holes. You know, I can't get a read on this dude.
You
Yeah.
don't know whether to laugh at
but
shit
it's-
like that or not, man. You might feel bad if you laugh at something like that.
No, I just did, and I don't really care.
Me neither.
Yeah, I know, right? Hey, Robbie, my icon is staring you down, bro.
Oh, wait, your icon. Oh, hey,
Look at that, man.
I'm winning.
Actually, it kind of looks like Will and Brian are giving each other loving looks. If you look
I
at
know, my icon might be gay.
Dude,
I think like between mine and your guys's, like Rev's the only one, like it kind of looks like a Brady Bunch panel. Like it looks like we're all looking at each other.
Yeah, we're like loving on the right side, but you and Rev are kind of like whatever.
yeah, like I'm totally smitten by Brian. Look at that.
Yeah.
I know it does look that way.
He's like, what's
Dude, it's that
up?
facial hair, dude.
Yeah,
Dude, I don't know what's going on, man, but I'm getting like man crushes.
I'm telling you,
Dude.
I'm straight. Hey, I'm straight as an arrow, though, brother. But I'm comfortable around anyway. I'm
Don't
gay.
jump
too,
down
me
until you
too,
jumped mine, Brian. There's no
Me
such
too,
thing as a
dude,
straight man until you've met me.
I just can't do
I
it.
was
Bro. I just can't do
I
it.
was talking to Granny Fanny, and dude, my panties wadded up. It was crazy.
Oh my god, yeah,
This
it was
dude-
like remember Will? I said it's like my voice is high pitched, then there's Will where it's deeper, and then Granny Fanny was like
You were cursing earlier, Robbie. You were cursing earlier. And you said,
Come on, bud.
You were cursing earlier, and you said "fuck," and it sounded like somebody stepped on a cat when you
Fuck.
said it. You're like "fuck." I was like, "Oh."
yeah, that happens often.
Dude, I'm telling you, Granny Fanny's voice is magical, dude. Like, straight up.
It is.
I'm not
I
even
agree.
trying to lie.
I agree.
Robbie's great,
That's
great.
like a total ASMR voice right there. That puts my soap videos to shame.
We're talking about an ASMR voice. If you
Oh, yeah.
Rev,
my channel.
Rev has a pretty good voice too, though. But
You got to hear True Helper. You guys know who True Helper is?
I've heard her before. Yeah.
Yeah, you got to hear his voice,
I don't
Robbie. He's got the ultimate male.
He does have a fantastic speaking voice as well. Yeah.
And dude is incredibly smart, man. He's one of the I like
He
to
is.
toot my own horn on trivia, but this guy, I mean, every topic he's smart as hell.
Is Greg Brady the oldest or the youngest?
He's the oldest.
Greg's
It's
the
Barry Williams.
Or
He's
who's the
the
middle
one.
one with the squeaky? Remember the
The time to
voice
change.
going through? Yeah,
Peter.
going through puberty. Oh, Peter.
Time to
Remember?
change.
Yeah, I'm looking for Peter. honey.
Full on drama because I said because I keep that's why full on drama's got the Peter Brady thing because I used that clip on
Oh.
full on drama because I told her she looked like Peter Brady.
Peter Brady.
She does kind of look like Peter Brady.
That's fucked up.
I did the video in pork applesauce. I did that on full on drama.
Chops and
Let's go.
applesauce. That's swell.
It's better than looking like Bobby. Bobby never grew into his face. Like he just got bigger.
Yeah, Bobby became,
Good point. Good point.
Bobby became Michael Lookaling. He became like one of the Grateful Dead's biggest followers,
He's
man. He
really,
wasn't
like heavy and age.
He
Like
smoked
men
more
get
weed.
more
Scarlet Begonia's my dad.
I
Men
can't
get more
stand the
handsome
Grateful
after
Dead.
they grow, but like they also their weight gets very, you gotta keep it under control. Like
Yeah.
Will, you do a good job of that. You're into fitness, even though you're a smoker, but you're still into fitness.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I work out just because like it helps me. It helps me manage my depression and anxiety. Simple. That's it. That's really the only reason I do it.
A lot of people do it for stress. Yeah, I ride. That's why people crack on me about my bike riding, but it relieves a lot of stress.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
I was reading comments on one of Will's videos.
Physical goals for yourself. Being in the practice of setting physical goals for yourself is just good. It's a good thing.
Somebody mentioned something about like, oh, his armpits. Like, hello, men, when we lift our arms up, all of us usually have sweaty armpits. So that's not a cut down. Especially if you have big muscles like Will does. Like that causes, just like if your thighs are big and you have a tiny vagina. More moisture.
That's what I'm hoping for is like a tiny vagina.
Just like if you're Cosby and you're like 5'5" and you have a tiny dick and you try to compensate for it.
Yeah.
Platinum says y'all know Greg Brady was screwing the mom, right, in real life. I knew he was screwing Marsha. I didn't know.
They went on a date. Look, him and Florence Henderson went on a date one time after the show was over. That's what he said. That's in his book. Barry Williams' book, Growing Up Brady. That's the way he explains it. Barry Williams' book. He said they went out one time. He didn't say anything about sex or anything, but he was screwing with Marsha. They were all the young ones were messing around with each other.
Well, of course they were. They were all young, and that was all like contact with people.
It was the middle of the sexual revolution too.
Yeah, it's
we're always in a sexual revolution.
The only one that wasn't screwing someone on the set was actually,
it was the dad because he's gay.
Yeah,
he was so gay.
Unless he was screwing Tiger, he wasn't screwing anyone on the set. So.
What's up with the lesbian maid?
Well, you never know. Maybe Tiger found
Alice?
a bitch.
Yeah, she was a muff diver for sure.
What?
Alice had a great rack though.
I think Alice muff dives.
Well, her cousin. Andy Davis.
She bought a ranch and moved to Montana and raised horses for the rest of her life. She never.
That's a lesbian.
She went down there on the plains.
I liked Alice though. I thought she was cool.
Yeah.
I like when the drill sergeant. I like when she left the show and then her drill sergeant cousin came in there and had him out in the morning. I remember that one.
Yes, that's when I was going to say she definitely was. I don't know about Alice herself, but her cousin definitely swung for the other team.
I wonder if Sam the Butcher was really sharing his meat with her.
No, I'm surprised that woman didn't wear a bathing suit.
They had a weird relationship. Sam the Butcher and her, like it was like they were banging, and he just wouldn't like get serious.
I was a butcher.
Oh no, he didn't put it.
Sam
the Butcher. I will admit. Yeah, I cut
That's
meat.
for the plaid team.
What's up? Yeah, I cut meat, dog.
Yeah, what's up?
What's up?
I got the biggest meat around here.
Yeah, dog. I'll cut your fucking ribeye in porterhouse for you, dog.
Well,
Let me tenderize your buns.
You know what's funny though is like I'm not a big gay advocate. I don't go to gay pride or anything, but
Yo, I'll make you pinwheels, dog.
You should, Robbie. You should, Robbie, just for the hell of it.
No, I don't. And it's even actually on Father's Day. It's funny because in Denver on Father's Day, Daddy Day is gay pride. And I always thought that was funny, but and you guys are men, and I'm glad that we have more men on the panel. But,
Robbie, you should go march with nothing on but a sock.
no, I almost went to Tulsa for the Trump rally, but Breakfast, I want to get your opinion on this too. Why has it always been more accepted? Because maybe for men it's really hot for women to be together, but it's always been more accepted for lesbians.
I like feet.
Oh,
I
like
You have nice feet.
I like feet.
I like men's feet. Yeah, sure.
My wife won't let me touch her feet, man. And I like.
Damn, what a bitch, dude! You should probably throw her to the curb.
I sneak when she falls asleep. I sneak a little rub.
I agree with you, and I think like there's a certain type of like homophobia that men have, like it's a threat to their mate. Women don't have that, and I don't know why. Really,
I'm not homophobic. I never was.
but you don't think two guys together are sexy?
No,
Well,
no, I don't think
hold
it's
on though,
a-
Breakfast Brian. Here's
not-
one thing that Breakfast brings up very interesting is I have that same, if you want to call it homophobia. When I'm around straight men, I almost have the same phobia that they have against me. Is I don't want them to think that I'm hitting on them because I don't even do that to gay men. So I have that same phobia towards straight men that they do to me, like don't hit on me. And I'm like, well, you don't either because like that's weird, or don't even think that I'm going to because I have a phobia of that. I don't care
Right.
to. If I want to find a hot man, I don't need to talk to
Nice.
somebody. I need to go on Grinder, and I'll have somebody here in 2 seconds.
I don't
Right.
get it. I
Right.
don't.
Robbie's always trying to buck somebody, dude.
Exactly. No, seriously, I will. If I want to, I will.
I have a very close friend who's lesbian, and we spend time together all the time. And I never once like worried.
I'm not
I've
uncomfortable
never-
around getting guys that are gay because I know that if I wanted to be gay, I could. I just,
All right,
I'm,
If you wanted
But here's the double standard.
We all know that, Brian.
How often do you hear about women worrying
It's real easy.
that they know is openly a lesbian is hitting on them? Like you never hear, like you hardly ever hear a woman say, "Well, I don't care if you're lesbian, just don't hit on me, bitch." Like
No,
you know,
it's a compliment to women. Why don't men take it as a compliment? Because usually, and I'm not going to categorize
Oh,
gay men.
I get
majority of
fucking
men
gay
are-
guys in my DMs all the time, honestly. And
Well, I'm sorry for that, Rev.
oh wow, dude, you're coming out with it.
if
Wow.
somebody that happens to be gay shows like an interest in me, and I'm
Damn,
never offended by that, never. I just
It's
say,
flattering.
hey, Arrow, but
Robin just came out to fucking being in my DMs. Holy shit.
Sliding up at him.
I think that's definitely a testosterone versus estrogen thing. It has. To.
What'd you do, Rev? What'd you do, Rev? You see Starlight in there?
I think it's a fear
she's
of
been in
balls.
there for a couple times.
I love you,
I'm afraid
Starlight.
I'm
Me
scared
Me
of
too. I
balls.
love Starlight. She's a
She
good
said-
person.
Rev, she said you came in her DMs and said
I
that.
did. Yeah, I do all the time.
Okay. Okay. All right. Well, all right. I don't know, man. Bring it right back. That's my. I mean,
Breakfast.
she's my buddy.
Breakfast. You know what would be a good
But,
topic?
all right, dude.
She's
I'll
herself, though, for real.
back up a little bit.
I
What
think
was
it'd be a good, like, people like
herself.
get into drama and gossip. Breakfast, we should co-host like a who's been banging each other or getting into each other's DMs on YouTube. That would be
Oh my god, dude. You'll have like 10 for me.
Oh wow. we
All right,
could-
there's
emailing
so
breakfast
many
now.
pictures.
That's cool.
There's so many
buddy.
pictures of
That's
my
cool.
dick out there.
Yes, I did.
It's
I
not
was,
even funny.
It would just be about me. It would just be about me.
yeah, don't deny it.
That entire show would be about
All you would have to do is make a fake profile on Grinder and then message me, and I'd show you like a full body because I don't do dick.
Oh,
I do full body.
no. I prefer like girls that are in their 50s, you know.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
they're speaking my language.
Wow.
I like
What up?
women, man.
What up,
I like
BCF?
women that know exactly what they dig.
Exactly.
I'll be right back,
I'm
guys.
not trying to have a kid, you know. I'm not trying to bring a little fucking tiny Rev into the world. That would be irresponsible.
Yeah, they use tubes tied and shit.
That's honesty. My wife is like 15 years younger than me, though, so I don't relate too well.
Luke, YouTube does not have DMs, but Discord has become like an extension of YouTube these days. So they're probably talking about Discord.
Yeah. Yeah, well, that's cool though. Like I was like, she said
What's
you
Discord?
DM it. He was like, yeah, I did. You sound just like me. Because if I do
You
something,
know, if I'm honest, but I do kind of
Yeah.
sound just like you.
did you say this to that person over there? Yeah, I did.
Yeah. If I'm honest, bud.
I feel like Robbie's like Willem Dafoe in the Boondock Saints. Like
Ooh.
totally gay, but like if somebody is too gay, he'll like call him out on it and be like,
So William Dafoe,
somebody's
Dagger.
William
for
Dafoe,
being such a queer.
He's got funny teeth. Robbie's got a hell of a smile. William Dafoe's got a little funny.
Robbie's the kind of faggot to pull a knife on somebody. You know what I mean? Yeah, for sure.
Ooh.
Robbie's a fucking ass, man.
Yeah, I wouldn't fuck with Robbie. He's got a
No, I wouldn't fuck with him, days.
He's kind of. I mean, he's. You know, people think that just because you know you might be gay that you can't swing. You know, look at Robbie. He's healthy. He's built. I bet he put one right. He'd hit you with so many lefts, you'd beg his ass for a right. Ain't that right?
yeah.
I would definitely hang out with him. You know, and I would not be uncomfortable at all. Not at all. I wouldn't let nobody fuck with him either.
Nah, like he can go do his own thing. He can suck someone's dick in the bathroom or whatever. You want.
Oh, God.
Anyone fucks
Well,
him.
it's not like I wait outside the bathroom and be a lookout or anything, but I'd be like, Robbie, come on, man. You can do that later.
Copper, I'm so sorry that you were backstage. How long were you backstage for?
Just
I'd
a
be
minute.
lookout for Robbie.
Oh, okay, good.
And there's the teach. Yeah, this is definitely Breakfast Club theme.
I'd definitely
yeah,
be lookout
yeah,
for
yeah.
Robbie.
Yes.
I'm Dick. How you doing?
That's Copper Dick.
Copper Dick.
Oh, Copper Dick. I've heard a lot about you. I heard you're a piece of shit. What's up with that?
No, not too much of a piece of shit.
Well,
At least
good.
I try
That's
not to
good.
be.
You know, I'm not gonna fucking judge you or anything. You know, you're cool.
Copper is
I'm cool with pretty much everybody now.
Hell yeah. Hell
Well,
yeah.
mostly everybody.
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 I'm
Yeah, I'm
glad
Hick.
Robbie called me come over here because I like to
I
be
tell you what, brother, I'm cool with just about everybody.
I tell you what, y'all better
I tell you what.
y'all better not. Y'all just scoot on right down the road. You hear?
You know, if I'm gonna be honest with you, brother, you know, like I'm just trying to like tell you about it.
You be good to my Copper, Rev. She's a good girl. She's a good girl.
No, I don't have any problems with Copper. I'm just fucking around.
We love our Copper Dick.
Copper
You
Dick.
know, I mean, we've been gotten our share of. Whoa! We got a full? Why did we have a second glare?
We have Helen. Helen, is that what you just said?
We have a second glare in backstage.
Helen, come on up. Bring Helen up.
Is that Helen?
Yeah, bring him up. Come
Are
on,
you
I
still
wanna
like-
talk
I feel
to
like
Helen.
I feel like I know Helen way more than I should.
You probably do.
Girl got kicked and it just hadn't gone away or something. But I'm
Helen,
guessing
come on. Helen, can you bring him up? Bring him up.
we're full. Well, he's gone now, but we got a full panel. We got
See?
somebody that didn't
When
say
I ask for him to come up, he fucking runs away like a little puss.
Well,
she's got this on panel.
Is Will still here? Did he? I think Will got kicked. Okay. Is that you, Will?
I don't know what. Yeah, I don't. Yeah, I don't know what
Okay.
happened. I guess.
Helen, come on, man. Don't be such a.
Yeah, you were still showing on the
I
screen.
just
So we
wanted
were
to-
like, that's Helen, because he does that shit. He'll pretend to be somebody else that he can porn bomb us.
He is funny.
Pretty much.
I
Helen, come up. Come up.
I heard one thing he said he was going to do for the looters, and you know I'm kind of real pro George Floyd, but when I heard that he said he was going to go down to where the looters were and bring some fried chicken, I mean that's funny shit right there. I'm sorry.
God.
I mean that's
I
funny.
mean, it's kind of funny though. It's fucked up, but it's funny.
But it's funny.
Exactly.
I mean,
No, it's so fucked up. It's kind of funny. That's what it is.
Yeah.
yeah, that was funny.
I say a lot of things that's so fucked up, it's kind of funny. Like, you got to laugh, but you feel just a little bit guilty about laughing.
Yeah,
Like hell, I like fried chicken too. Is he gonna bring me
I feel
some?
guilty about it. I think it's pretty funny. Helen, come up.
Come on,
I
extra,
had KFC
Helen, I like
yesterday.
fried chicken too, bud.
yeah.
extra crispy.
You know, I like fried chicken if I'm honest. Too,
I like
but-
original recipe.
I doubt Helen's even watching. I think we got
I
RDA people streaming, like Starlight and Cosmic are both streaming, I think. So I doubt Helen's watching.
Are
me.
they really? Wow.
I think
I
so.
don't think,
What a
there's
joke.
anything.
I hate
Tastier.
Cosmic.
You don't
He's a
like
piece
it?
of shit.
You don't like?
I like Cosmic.
You like him? Ah,
He grew on me. He grew on me.
he sucks.
I'm a
Each other at first, but I grew to like.
yeah, of course I like listening to Cosmic.
Nah,
Yeah,
come
He
on.
just
he
goes off
sucks.
on little, high tendencies, and I'm
He
right
sucks.
there with him.
No, I'm pretty much
Yeah.
I'm pretty much a gem from that fucking whole entire universe of mine.
Oh no, Brian, can I actually point something out about the looters though? Because I'm kind of against that statement because the majority of the looters are spoiled white rich kids that are
Yep.
Yeah,
And they like
they're
chicken.
not like I
you
have
have
a
to take him a
lot.
baba.
I have
They
a
like chicken.
lot of African American friends, and believe it or not, a lot lot of them are Republican.
Cause it's like
Even
you
the
can
liberal
sit
ones,
around
they're
fucking
against
waiting
them.
for the same
They're not
old
even
beer.
for that.
Could you guys imagine how this whole thing? Could you imagine how this whole thing would go under
That's pretty
Barack
much
Obama's administration?
Go
Well,
listen
I'm
to my
Trump
last
2020,
live
so
stream.
I know some people are against that, but I'm Trump all the way. I'm going to vote for him again. Biden is.
Well, you already know my stance on that one, Robbie.
Yes, I do. And I respect it too. And I
No,
love
I'm not saying either, but
I love you.
Biden is a shapeshifter. Oh, I got
Well, in my opinion, the Liberal Party is shape-shifting, but that's my opinion.
Creepy Joe.
Just for everybody else's reference, I voted Trump too.
I'm a Trump.
I'm not ashamed to say it.
Mhm.
I
I'm a little bit disappointed that he didn't send the military in quicker, but other than that,
Can we also address him? I don't know if you watched, because I'm a big Trump supporter. I watched his rally in Tulsa last night, and he mentioned, people are saying that he has the same disease Michael J. Fox has, Parkinson's, and
Yeah.
that he can't lift a thing of water. What he explained is that what the media won't tell you is that the reason he was lifting with two hands with the water is because prior to that, he had to salute 600 military men with his hand over and over and over and over and over again, but he did it in pairs. So he did it like 300 times.
yeah.
oh my
Yeah.
god, really?
And his hand was like tired from it. And he's like, and then he
Yeah,
took-
nobody mentions that.
Hey,
No.
hey, Robbie, did you
They
know
only
that?
mention the stuff that's the shock and awe, not the good stuff he's done.
Yeah, and is that what America has come to? Is we're gonna judge him on how he drinks his glass of water? Seriously?
Check this out, Robbie. Did you hear about the on the way in the campaign security arrested this lady that was wearing an "I Can't Breathe" shirt, white lady.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, did you hear about that? That's crazy.
Yikes.
No.
Yeah, that's crazy. So we can't be in support either. As white folks right now, we can't be in support either. Why was she arrested? I don't know why she was arrested. They said she was disturbing the peace. Yeah.
I don't think I heard this one, but I get out of touch with the news a lot.
Well, that's a good thing now.
And I think we're also going to have problems. We're also going to have problems when they go to try to convict this cop that shot that guy there in Atlanta, because I don't think he's going to be convicted, even though he's got 11 charges. Looking at the death penalty, I don't think legally he's going to be convicted. And if he's not, we're going to have a hell of an uproar here again.
Well, let's get down to earth. Let's all get down to earth really fast and think about the media and how it affects all of us. Let's look at the media here in our tiny little community on YouTube and see how that works. People take small clips of stuff that they want to go with the narrative of something that they want you to believe. And how does that work out for all of us here in this community? It's a thing.
Well, I tell you, if you're discussing that, if you're talking about that case, the thing with the shooting there in Atlanta is that taser is classified as a deadly weapon. That's the thing, and I don't think they're going to be able. As much as I'd like to see, him get some kind of punishment for it, I don't think they're going to be able to convict this officer legally. And when they don't, it's going to be. I think it's going to be another uproar for nothing. I mean, really, basically, the man is in jail for doing his job. Well,
my brother actually went through the same shit for killing a girl named Jessica Hernandez here in Denver with the kind of the same kind of thing. She was a lesbian. She's Hispanic. They blamed him for being homophobic. They blamed him for being racist. He had to switch over to the gang unit for a while, and it really affected his life. He got death threats and all sorts of shit. Here's the thing about, if we're going to talk about George Floyd for a minute, I don't agree with, if somebody's saying they can't breathe and not getting off of them. But what nobody mentions is that George Floyd also went to a woman's house, broke into a pregnant woman, held a gun up to her stomach, and said, "I will fucking kill you right now."
All right, here's the thing, though. He was convicted of that. He served his time.
That's not relevant.
It's not relevant. And I mean, I understand it.
Well, it's relevant to people making him a martyr, though. That's what it's relevant.
Well,
the fact that they try to make him a hero.
The fact of the matter is that he is a martyr. He was murdered by the police, by a police officer, right in front of the world. Everyone, I mean, I don't care who you are. I saw a fucking murder happen. Now, whether or not it was racially motivated, that remains to be seen. I don't think so. I don't know. I mean, we're talking about four of the most racially diverse group of police officers that I've ever seen.
Chauvin,
Also,
So-
methamphetamines in the system as well.
Claire Chauvin had seven.
that doesn't justify what happened. Now
No,
that
not at all.
that would be a valid argument if we didn't have video footage of for fucking almost 9 minutes
Mhm.
of
Yeah.
this man with his full
He was
body weight
calling
on
for
this
his
guy's neck.
mother. He
Well,
was-
not only that, but did you see the security video that showed the events leading up to his arrest? Like before,
I looked at
No.
all.
he was
Doesn't matter.
completely.
Doesn't
Well,
matter.
no, I'm
Matter-
saying he was completely
relevant.
compliant. He
Yeah.
wasn't like they had no reason to tackle him, and he fell because he was obviously
Right.
in some kind of medical distress or
But
something.
here's the deal. Here's
And
the
he
deal.
fell.
The reason he
I don't
fell
agree with his murder.
when they took him across the street and they were trying to put him in that other cruiser, he's claustrophobic. And he was telling him he was claustrophobic and he was having an anxiety attack. But they put him
Yeah,
in there.
but
But look, they put him in there anyway. And then you see it on the other side, they drag him back out. And then you hear a code 2 called for the EMT, right? And then about another minute later, they said, now it's a code 3. He was having a heart attack. And then they put him down on the ground and made it worse. They put him down on that man called for his mother.
I know it's
And
heartbreaking.
then they also found out that him and the Chauvin, the cop Chauvin, that they worked in the same security club. And that's why Floyd was out because of COVID. But yeah, I realized he had an extensive back criminal history, but he served his time for that. And when you come out, you're done. That doesn't mean that you get your neck stomped in,
right.
over a fake $20 bill. But no, he's not a martyr. He's not
No.
a hero, but he's an icon as to what police are doing to people in this country.
Well, he's a martyr because he died for it. He did.
I think he died. I think he died because
I don't think he's a hero, but he's definitely he gave his life. His life was taken from him in order to show the world that this police officer was abusing his power.
Yeah.
And I don't agree with what I laugh about. Now, what's funny is I'm not a Trump supporter, but I also I agree with everything that Robbie says about liberals. I agree with all of it, because you have the majority of the people rioting and looting are actually white. And the loudest people on social media. Listen to my last live stream. I actually go off about this for the entire time. And it's not. Yeah, there's the message for George Floyd has been lost. And that happened as soon as the rioting and the looting started taking place. For a minute there, I felt so proud to be an American because the entire world was peacefully protesting just for a minute there. And it was fucking beautiful.
And Will, I
It was
really appreciate your
beautiful.
meme with what's his name, Marky Mark, on YouTube or on
Yeah.
Facebook that you put. Oh, we're not doing COVID anymore.
Right.
Oh, I saw something recently that showed that Marky Mark was actually guilty of all kinds of hate crimes in his
Well,
Did
Mark,
you hear about that?
No, he wasn't.
He is from
tried.
Boston, and so
Yeah, there's reports that he chased somebody down, calling them the N-word or something like that.
Well, that he almost
mean-
killed somebody.
But we're talking about 30 years ago.
you ever
And
seen
they
him
were
in that
saying-
movie Fear and how crazy he was in that?
Oh my God, yeah.
Yeah, he beat some dude
No,
he
that's
beat
acting.
him and he's blind in one eye.
Yes,
I remember that.
Yeah.
I saw a special on it. The dude sued him, he pressed charges. It was crazy. But he turned his life around after that though. That was a
he did.
turning point for him.
Right.
They finally brought Danny Masterson up on all those rape charges he's been fighting with.
It's
before.
about fucking time.
Danny, yeah.
Just for
Yeah,
the people
yeah.
who don't know, I just wanted to say
out
something real quick.
That sucks.
This
See where they're dragging him out of the car right here. Now watch when he gets up to the corner. He's in distress. He's not resisting. He's upset.
Right. He's down, and they're responding to him falling in a medical. That's why I put this up because I know a lot of people haven't seen it.
Right.
But it's obvious.
I had never watched it. I've never watched.
Watch. Just watch,
I
Robbie.
think it's actually important to actually watch that video, as painful as it is. I don't think it's morbid at all. I think it's morbid to watch it over and over again, maybe.
I haven't
But
seen this one, but I saw like the
think it's
cell phone
important.
footage that somebody had.
Right. Well,
They
this
were,
is
you know,
what
they were
happens
standing on the
before that.
sidewalk.
I think every adult should watch that at least once. To
Yeah, I'll tell you what,
Like
I
to
haven't
hear
watched
those
it.
people, like those people on the sidewalk were pleading with the cop to get off of him.
Right. Well,
Well,
see,
the
what,
one
Right.
cop,
what I kept wondering and what I kept asking was, why did they have him in that hold in the first place? Because that footage didn't show it. And this shows
Well,
what led up to him being put in that hold. And he did nothing to deserve being put in that hold.
he was
And that,
protesting.
Oh,
He was-
definitely.
He
He
didn't want to
didn't
go
deserve
inside
that.
of that. He didn't want to go inside of that other cruiser. When they take him across the street here, there's a cruiser going to pull up over there.
well, it
And
looked like he fell to me.
he didn't want. Yeah, he didn't want to get in. He was he might have slipped on the curb, but he did. He was telling him he was claustrophobic. Please don't put him in there. And
Well,
then-
if he was having an anxiety attack, he
Yeah,
probably
that
tripped over the curb
Well,
because he
yeah,
wasn't
yeah,
paying
yeah,
attention
yeah,
to
yeah.
it.
That can contribute to anxiety as well.
The
Yeah.
caption
Yeah.
on here said that he collapsed due to medical distress. Was what?
Well,
they
I mean,
said.
how many times do you think cops have heard that excuse? You can't put me in the car. I'm claustrophobic.
Right.
I'm sure they hear that all the time.
You're right.
Yeah.
You know, they're not going to
before
pay
when I've been
attention to that.
home.
They're going
Well,
Well,
to be
that's
like,
why
yeah,
they need
whatever.
to take
Oh,
mental
like,
health
God.
more seriously, and people should be allowed to freaking wear a freaking ID bracelet, you know, saying like, "Hey, I'm really claustrophobic. Don't put me in this car."
Well,
See,
it doesn't
I
matter
disagree.
what his
Twitching on
reason
his
was.
cuffs
Like,
right
watch. Nothing
Yeah,
he's
they
If you're
pulling up on his arms. Right.
claustrophobic, if you're claustrophobic, don't
Oh,
break
you
the
can
law.
see it better.
Yeah.
I mean, you
don't
can
break
see
the law,
it like right
period.
there, like he falls. I mean, if you're watching, it's kind of hard to see, but if you look, nothing he's doing there.
Well,
like
they could
he
at least,
falls
like, if
down.
he's claustrophobic, they can roll the windows down to help him with his claustrophobia.
They took him out of the car. They got him in the car.
Well,
then they
he's
dragged
not.
him back out.
They're not taking him to a 4-star hotel. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, I
Like,
know
they're not
that, but I'm
supposed to get
saying,
him-
like, even with mental health, if rolling a window down will keep a dude
Right
from
there. He's
spazzing
getting
out,
over the curb.
then why not just roll the window down?
Well, guys, let's go ahead.
because it could possibly put civilians in danger. It could possibly put them in danger. It could
Well,
possibly put the police
window
officers.
and
in
they've
None
got,
of
like,
that is neither here nor there, in my opinion.
a plastic
Exactly.
thing
Let's
and a
throw that-
cage.
Yeah,
Let's
none
throw
of
the
that is either
claustrophobia
here
out the
nor
roll down
there.
window.
When you think about it, they use
breathe.
a force that is considered excessive and has been outphased by most cops all over the United States, and only supposed to be used in life-threatening situations in Minneapolis. And he chose to use it in response to what happened there. I think that's the important thing. He used deadly force. I mean, that's like the equivalent of pulling a gun on somebody. You know, like they rate that neck hold with like the choke hold, and most cops are not allowed to use it.
I think the reason
And he repeatedly said, "I can't breathe." And I haven't even watched the video yet. And I know that that's all I needed to hear is if somebody can't breathe and you're on top of them for how many minutes? 8 or 9?
Hey, Robbie, he flat out told them, "You're killing me."
Yeah.
Yeah.
See, I
And
didn't
that
even
was
know
the
that.
fair
So I
bit.
watched it.
There was a first responder standing off to the side, and she was saying, "You're killing him."
And then there was that
I
other
think she was a nurse.
the
Well,
Asian
no. There was a first responder there. And
Oh, it
she
was? Okay.
saying, You need to call an EMT right now and check his vitals.
Yeah.
You need to do that.
Yeah.
And she was like, I can't believe I'm looking at you right now as a first responder, and I'm looking at you, and you're not checking this man's vitals. He's unresponsive.
right.
And they totally blew her off.
Right.
Right.
The Asian cop was telling, should we turn him over? And he said no.
And you can see, like Will mentioned that when he showed, and I would show it, but to tell you the truth, I can't bear to watch it again. But that cop, he's got his hand on his leg to increase the pressure, and he's kind
Oh,
of.
that cop should definitely be charged.
And if you look,
Oh, he is charged.
if you look there at the end,
Like-
where it's obvious that the guy is dying, the cop is looking right in that dude's eyes. To me, like I still get, I get.
Right.
Like,
He elaborate and say he should have the book thrown at him.
to me, it looks like he purposely killed him. He's watching the
Yeah.
guy's eyes as he fucking dies.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah, it-
People,
Becky asked, "Can you tell if you can't breathe?" Don't think so. Well, you got to think that he had one on his neck, he had one on his back, shoulder blades, one on the back of it. It was pressing him. So yeah, he probably could have. He knew he couldn't breathe because he stopped breathing. Yeah, I mean, he did. He knew he couldn't breathe. So, I don't think they.
Yeah.
I just think that. Yeah, I think he murdered him. I'm glad they upped it to a 2nd-degree felony.
Yeah.
And I hope that he gets at least 20, 30 years in prison. And his other cop is facing the death penalty.
And
Okay,
Becky brings up a good point. The first autopsy said that he didn't die from asphyxiation.
That's true. What did
Are
they
we
do?
going to ignore that? Like, is the justice system going to ignore that part and not go after them for like trying to cover it up?
Well,
Or at
yeah.
least look into it to see if they tried to cover it up?
Well,
Probably not. In a perfect world, yeah, but
What
do we
do you
know?
think about,
They go with the official report. If 2 doctors didn't concur on the same thing, then they're going to go with the official report. But we could see the asphyxiation happening. We could see it. Maybe they wanted to try and clean it up at first, but there's too much video. You can see his knee, and you can see the man spitting up. You can hear him saying he can't breathe. You can hear him say, "You're killing me."
Oh yeah, I watched it. You can hear all that. It's horrific.
very graphic. Yeah, it's very graphic. And he
things right there?
and
I
they-
think,
It just stays
I
with
think
you.
the main reason that officer didn't take his knee off his neck is because everybody was telling him to.
Yeah.
right.
Exactly. Well, I honestly think
He wasn't about to be told what to do.
I think that cop purposely killed him. I think he wanted to kill him. I think he wanted to watch him die because every time I see that, that's the thing that stands out.
Yeah,
to me.
he knew him in real life. They worked. They may not have been best friends, but they knew of each other. They worked.
I don't think the intent was there, but I think that his actions led to his death. I don't think he intended to kill him.
Well,
I
I'm
just don't
saying
agree with
like
Brian.
something could have happened.
He had some questionable.
You know,
there was some
Where
questionable.
they just didn't get
incidents.
along, and he was just like,
There was some
"Who's the
questionable
bitch now?" You know,
using deadly force
kind of
in
situation.
his past that like kind of got swept under the rug and stuff. To me, the whole thing, like when I watch that, that's all I can see is him looking in that guy's face as he lays there dying and putting his hand on his leg to increase that pressure.
Yeah, it's just sad to look
To
at.
me, it looks intentional as hell.
I felt so sorry for that man when I watched it the first time. I was like, man, he's
Yeah,
calling for his mama. This is a football star, a security guard, a big man calling for his mama. You know he's going. You know he's dying. That's one of the last things that a man will do if he's held in a spot like that is call for his mama.
I can't imagine how the lady, the healthcare worker, whether she was a nurse or a first responder or whatever, how she must have felt. That's what I thought she said. But how she must have felt not being allowed to do what every nerve and fiber of her body had to have been screaming at her to do.
Her instinct was telling her to. And she was trying to do the next best thing, which is tell the cop, at least you can do it, please.
Right.
At least, you know, you have to call for an EMT right now. You have to check his vitals right now because he is non-responsive. And she refused. Another misconception is that Chauvin had his hands in his pocket. It looks that way, but he actually had black gloves on, and his fist, he's actually putting weight on his thigh to try to put more pressure on his neck.
That's the second reason why I feel like he intentionally killed him is because of that.
That's one thing that makes me consider it. But I'm with Brian overall. I think that he was just not giving a shit what was happening to him, and it was more about him being defiant to the crowd that was around him, and not wanting, and basically just you people are below me and you're not going to tell me what to do, is basically what was going through his mind, I think, and just didn't care. But I don't think that he thought that he was going to kill him. I don't think that.
Becky, I know what you're talking about, and I saw that article that lawyer put out that said that that George Floyd was actually his client, and I do think it's odd that the family isn't speaking out against that. But what I saw was a man get killed by police. Either way,
I agree.
Yeah. Now that conspiracy theory, I know what you're talking about. And then she says, "How did he yell without breath?" Sometimes you can yell, you can expand, but you can't suck it back in. That's why his voice is getting lower, lower, lower. There's no doubt that we saw a man get killed by police.
Absolutely, no doubt.
And I'm checking, and I'm definitely looking. There's an attorney that put it out with his own name that's saying that's not the real George. And they had pictures and everything. I've looked at it, and I think it's odd that the family hasn't responded to it. But maybe they don't want to because it's junk. If they think it's junk. So,
what about Lufa's comment here? I haven't heard of this. So has anybody heard of this? The video out there showing 2 George Floyds, one with hair and one bald, and the theory is that he was an actor.
Well, George Floyd used to be a football player, and back in the day when he was a football player, he did have a big afro, pretty good sized afro on him. So I don't know. People are always going to have their conspiracy theories, but the bottom line would be this: no matter what, we saw the police kill a man.
Yeah, he's dead no matter what. No matter whether he was a real person or an actor, he's still dead.
I can't figure that to be a setup because the way it went down. I mean, how would they know that a man's knee on someone's neck is actually going to kill them? If they had it all set up, how would they know that? How would they know?
Well,
I don't think Tobin knew he was going to die. I don't think there was any intent there. I don't think it was a purpose. I think he just thought, well, he's bullshitting.
I mean,
I don't think he originally intended to kill him.
Kill somebody with your knee on their neck like that. I mean, if you keep it on there long enough, you're going to cut their air supply off long enough that they are going to asphyxiate. Anybody knows that. And
well, he might not have believed that he was actually.
The cop should have known that. I don't believe that one bit. The cop should have known that.
Yeah,
he knows that hold. He's trained to know that hold could kill somebody.
Well, that hold. I researched that neck hold is actually outlawed in most states, and it is legal in Minneapolis, but it's only supposed to be used like in a situation that requires deadly force. It's like a chokehold. It's verboten in most states. Minneapolis does allow it, but they're not supposed to use it unless absolutely necessary.
In all states now. All states.
In all states now. Okay. Well, at the time it was allowed.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. I looked at that.
Yeah. So they absolutely knew that was very, very dangerous and could potentially kill him. And he chose not only to use it when it wasn't needed, but to keep it on him for 8 minutes. That's like leaving somebody in a chokehold for 8 minutes.
Yeah. Lufa, I think that was just the way the cell phone footage was. Like, I think he just had like a close haircut, and you see like, the sun on his.
Well, think about this, Lufa.
If you look at the video I just showed, he had hair.
Well, think about this, Lufa. If they were going to set it up, they would make sure that they would know there would be video. So they would make sure that everybody looked the same. So I think it was probably the cell phone footage you saw of the front. Somebody had, and she was moving around a little bit. But I don't think they would make that kind of mistake that we could all notice if it was a setup. Really.
I'm looking at the video.
He could have wore a hairpiece.
The video I showed, it's got him sitting on the ground, and he's quite obviously bald. Hold on, I'll pull it up as soon as I've got a good one of him here.
Like he could just be like balding on top, and could have been using.
Well, there's a cell phone from
a female.
There's a cell phone video from a female that was in. She was in front of the cruiser. It was like a side, and it was kind of blurry. It really because she was shaking and stuff. So that's probably the one she's talking about. I saw that too. I know what you're talking about.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, but if you look at this is from a security camera, so it wasn't touched up or anything like that. It's just from like a store security camera. There he is right there. He's quite obviously bald.
Question everything, Lufa. But the thing of it is like, how would they change places right there in front of everybody?
See, look, he's quite obviously bald. Did you see he just turned his head and like almost looked at the camera?
Yeah, he might have a little bit of hair there, but yeah, but you can see it shine.
It'd be like a fuzz, like a really close haircut.
You can see the shine right above the NBC. Yeah, you can see it. There he goes. Yeah. So like all these people are watching, Lufa. So when would they change from the guy that had hair to him? When would they switch that? Who wouldn't have seen that? That's what I look at. That's what I think.
Yeah, I wonder if maybe there was some confusion because this guy up here, like you can see him get out. I think he had a hat on though, but he had a passenger. So maybe somebody saw the passenger and got the two of them confused. Is that possible? Like maybe?
No, I think it was from the lady that was in front of the car where they actually had him pinned down, is what she's talking about.
Oh, okay.
And her video was kind of shaky. So if
Yeah,
it's shaky,
blurry cell phone footage, basically.
yeah, people are.
Like she
always,
was shaking and it was having trouble focusing.
Yeah.
I just can't see this being faked with all these bystanders there.
Yeah, see, well, actually, he does look like he has maybe a little bit of stubble there, but he's mostly bald. So it could
No,
be like
it's not.
parts of his head has like a tiny bit of stubble, maybe. I don't know.
And he's
This-
sweating. He's sweating profusely too, really bad.
This
Yeah.
all has caused such a crazy thing in the world right now that you're going to hear all kinds of bullshit conspiracy theories.
See,
Yeah.
he's got a little bit in the front.
Whenever a major event like this that has this much impact on the world happens, there's always some stupid conspiracy theories floating around about it. That's just going to happen.
Right.
Same thing happened with 9/11.
Yeah, with our government though, with our government and the way the world is today, trust nothing.
Okay, here's what I don't
Sure, I
understand.
agree.
Let's go with that he was an actor. Like, if he was an actor, what is he trying to accomplish? I honestly don't understand. I'm missing the point of that.
Who would be willing to sacrifice? Who would be willing to sacrifice their life and drive to that scene with George Floyd's friends in that Mercedes? Those were his friends in the car with him.
Mhm.
Well, and also, I mean, the point of it, Breakfast Club family, is would be the results would be what we're dealing with right now, because the theory would be the motive behind that would be to cause all of this just before an election, and it's made up by the liberals and blah 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 blah.
Okay,
But I
saying
think
that it
that's
was.
bullshit.
Is
I think the
cop was
rioting
part
and the
of the-
looting is definitely. I do believe that the rioting and the looting that's taking place is definitely there's a political agenda behind that.
I'm trying
but
to understand this theory just because I don't understand. So I'm sorry if this sounds dumb, but are they saying that the cop is in on this conspiracy? Because to me, that's the only way it works as a
Well,
conspiracy.
you also have to have a person that's willing to give their life.
well, yeah, if he's an actor, then yeah. But that's the thing is no. I mean, this guy died. Chauvin is going to jail, and I mean, or at least he's being held right now. So it's not. Yeah, the theory, Brian, is that they're actors and nobody actually died.
Okay. Okay.
but-
All right. That's what I was trying to understand was what this theory was. Okay.
No, that's bullshit. It's total bullshit.
Yeah, I don't believe that at all.
No. Now I do not think that a pallet of bricks will just magically appear in a protest. You know,
They had abandoned cars that people were finding with loaded weapons too.
Be right back. I'm going to say goodnight to my boyfriend.
Yeah, Soros is spending all his money on this one. Democrats are not going to let go of this one. You can believe that.
What's going on in Seattle is insane. Like, it's insane.
What's going on everywhere is insane.
Seattle
Yeah,
has
but
no law and order.
Seattle in particular. Well, Seattle in particular, what's happening in Seattle is that that the rioters and looters they've taken over City Hall. They've taken
I didn't know
over
that.
City Hall, and they've taken over the police precinct. Like they sacked it. There's no law and order right now in that area. It's 6 blocks that they've taken, and at this point, that's why Trump is like saying, "Dude, the mayor of that fucking city better do something, or I'm gonna fucking do it."
Yeah, and there's going to be repercussions. Look at what happened last night with Trump just showing up in Tulsa.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
What
just
happened?
to do a rally. And here's the thing, guys. You know, people are so against rallies right now because of COVID and everything. But again, like you're a meme, Will, are we not doing COVID anymore? Like we're allowed to sit there and riot and loot and it's okay, but we can't have rallies for a political thing that's going to be happening here in November.
Right.
Yeah.
You're absolutely right. Well,
No, I
it's just the
love
fact that the
It's
cops
so
can't.
funny. No, the liberals right now are so fucking talking out of both sides of their mouths. Like it's what they do. Like right now, they want to defund the police. They want to abolish the police, right? But they're also anti-guns. So I'm really interested to see what happens when you don't have any guns and there's no police to call. I can't wait.
All these celebrities, and this is why I'm so against Hollywood and pop stars and celebrities, even though I appreciate their music. I don't know their political stance with people like Justin Timberlake, who I respected before. He posted and said, I am going to bail out any rioters or looters. That right there tells me all I need to know about Justin Timberlake is that
okay.
people are going to post bail because they have money, and they're going to. And here's the thing: this is where politics come into place, and Americans need to take a stand. Is all of these mayors, and these people that are running these cities are asking for money. We need money to look. Somebody just knocked down 100-year statue that's been in place. They took it down. These rioters, right? So
it was George Washington, I think.
Right. So all of these cities are asking for more your money. Okay. They're asking for your money to replace this shit when it shouldn't even happen to begin with. And then you have celebrities like Justin Timberlake saying they're going to bail people out of jail and go ahead and just cause a ruckus in the city. They're welcoming this.
Right. And the reality of it, I don't want to cut you off, Robin. Go ahead, Robin.
No, that's all I had to say, Brian.
The reality of it is, let's turn this around. Let's say it's the Obama administration, and white people were tearing up Martin Luther King, and if it was white people doing it, you could bet your ass that Obama would call in the troops immediately. Trump
I don't even think it's a race thing, because I think probably, and I don't know the facts, but the majority of these rioters are white people anyways, ripping down these statues. I don't think it's a white or black or an Obama thing or anything. Or I think
it's not welcoming. It's funny. It's white people.
While they're supposedly, and I'm not going to get into COVID, there's a virus going around, yet you rioters are out there with your mask on thinking you're doing the public service, but you're taking our tax money away by ripping down and you're saying you want to defund the police and all of this bullshit. No, you're taking our money away. That's why I'm voting for Trump 2020, bitch.
That's right. There will be no defunding of the police. Actually, what Trump is trying to do is get more money for the police to vet them better and train them better.
Yeah, that's a big problem where I live. Like, our police are so underfunded.
Yeah, there's a big problem. And I hope you don't mind, but I dropped the link to my last live in the chat just because I actually explore this stuff very deeply in that. But
I watched it. It was pretty good.
There's a real big
I just
problem.
didn't really comment.
Thank you. But there's a really big problem right now as far as the celebrities, because what's happening is this whole thing, this Black Lives Matter thing. It's just what's funny is I agree with it. I absolutely agree with it. But the thing is it's being made into a fad. And what's happening is there's an underlying thing that's happening to it that's taking its value away. And the people responsible for it are white people. And I really honestly believe that's the thing, is that I talk really, really heavily about how I think it's arrogant. It's arrogant, and it's in a way it's racist itself for white people to speak for Black people.
I agree.
It's crazy, and they're doing that a lot. And what we're not realizing is when we take down statues now, I realize that, and you start banning Confederate flags from certain places. I get that, but the thing is I am the type of person when I have nothing to feel any white guilt about, because I'm not racist in the slightest bit. I've never done anything racist to anybody.
That's right.
So I don't. I'm not on board with this white guilt shit, because I don't feel any, honestly.
The comment on the screen is right. There's a difference between the rioters and the protesters.
Yeah.
Not all of the protesters are the rioters.
Another person had posted that the celebrities that are putting people out, letting these looters back out to tear up our cities, go back to their gated community with their paid security.
Yep. That too.
Enough to piss you off. I don't know who put that post up there.
I can understand bailing out a protester, but not one of the rioters or looters, you know?
Yeah.
Because
Well, let's go back to history and
there's
what we're fighting
potential
for.
to get a little extra heated, and a chick might, try to kick a cop in the balls, or a dude might try to take a swing.
People are overlooking this other fact. These are urban neighborhoods, and in these urban neighborhoods, how many black-owned businesses do you think are being looted and destroyed and vandalized?
Oh my gosh, that video you showed of the guy who's what was it? I can't remember what kind of business it was.
Well, that was from the Rodney King. That was back from the LA riots.
Yeah.
But it's the same thing is happening now.
Yeah,
the same thing is happening.
I saw a guy on the news. He was sitting out in front of his business with a freaking shotgun.
That's right.
Yeah, you're not going to tell me this is about George Floyd when you loot and
looting is not protesting. Looting is selfish, selfishly trying to profit off of somebody else.
It's not because if
if they want to loot somebody, at least loot Walmart or something.
If black lives actually matter to you, then you would not be destroying black-owned businesses.
Exactly.
Those are businesses those are dreams that they thought of and worked their asses off to manifest into reality. And then you're just going to burn it down. You're going to take
and ruin their whole life.
You're going to take their livelihood. That's so to sit there and say, oh, well, it's material things, those don't matter. What matters is somebody's actual life. Well, those material things, somebody invested their life into those material things so that they could sell them and make a living. And then you're going to go and then you're justifying destroying it because you're angry.
And some of them, it's not just their livelihood. It really is their life,
Well, in the case
like a shoe repair or a seamstress or something, that is their life.
Yeah. In the case of George Floyd, and even like Rodney King actually spoke on it, so we know what he thought. But honestly, like if George Floyd could speak, do you think he would actually like this, that people are doing this in his name? I'm sure he probably wouldn't. I mean,
I tell you one thing about that Rodney King thing is I had a hard time believing that you can get a Hyundai Excel to go 115 miles an hour.
Right.
I was like, good on him, man. Sorry.
And I think like that iconic shot of him saying, "Can't we all just get along?" But I mean, really, like at least he was able to speak and at least send out the message by him saying that. Was that people that were doing it in his name really weren't, and I don't know. It's just, to me, it completely defeats the purpose.
Some of those people who are looting are just, they're just doing it to fill their pockets.
Rodney King, he got around $56 million in settlements, and that money is actually what killed him.
Yeah, it really did.
That's his soul, though, I'm not making fun of Rodney King at all. He was done wrong, but still,
I don't think it was just the money. I think the money helped him spiral downwards because after that happened, like he was basically pushed into instant fame over being having his ass beat.
Well, and he was also in a lot of pain too, don't forget, and a lot of times when you're in pain and pain management, that leads to addiction issues. And
that's what it was. That's what it was. That's what happened. Well, he got hit.
And then people wanting to make jokes about it, like, oh, don't get Rodney King. And you're like, really?
Well, and there was another guy too. There was a white guy. I forget that guy's name, but Reginald Denny.
Yeah.
I mean, that was a white guy.
Yeah, and they dragged him out of his truck in Compton and they beat him, and then they threw a brick right on his head.
Oh.
Yep.
And he was just trying to get the hell out of there. That's why they had this other trucker that just drove through these people in the freeway. They dragged him out. That's why he was trying to get away. You remember that Reginald Denny?
Mm-hmm.
They charged him. He got charged for it. Yeah.
I think he only got probation though, or he served very little time because of the fact that he feared for his life.
Yeah, they dragged him out of that truck.
The cops or the looters?
Yeah, they say that the first
it was a truck driver. They were driving their trucks, and people were like standing in the highway, and like they pulled like them out of the truck to beat the crap out of them.
Yeah, that's why he took off.
It was right.
He was a white trucker. He was like he drove an 18-wheeler.
Yeah,
Right.
a little young guy too. But they
But
say that the
it's
first
not us that beat him, right?
they say that the first
No,
window.
it was the looters that pulled him out and beat him.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's what I was just making sure to.
He
The
was on
looters
freeway.
like pulled the white dude out of the truck and like beat him, and
Yeah.
you know,
the thing
and
is, man, there's all kinds of
it was like,
like
yeah, a lot of bad shit
when
happened back then.
I was starting to say this before, and then I lost my train of thought. But whenever I walk by, let's say, a truck that has a rebel flag as a sticker on it or something, or even just an actual rebel flag on it, what I've always done is just walk by it and I go, what a fucking asshole, and I just keep walking.
What a douche.
You know.
You don't like the rebel flag at all?
Well, no.
You got that right. That's cool. I mean, you got that right.
I don't. But right, and that's the thing is, but I think everyone has a right to like the rebel flag, and I think you have the right to hang a Nazi flag from your fucking house if you want to. I think
you better have fire insurance.
Well,
Yeah.
sure, right, yeah. I mean, you got to be fucking stupid to do it. But my point is,
And flood insurance.
My point is that we have a
Just
First
name a
Amendment
fire
right,
hydrant at
and
the
you
house.
don't get to cherry pick. You don't get to cherry pick what that First Amendment right entails.
Yeah.
You know, it doesn't work that way. So
Just
you're
because
going to
you
see
find it
things. You're just going to have to
reprehensible.
deal with the fact that you're going to see things that are going to make you mad.
Right.
You know? And it's up to you to handle them accordingly. The answer is not to take away people's First Amendment rights. The answer is not to take away people's God-given freedoms.
Right.
That's not the way to go.
I used to work
the
at
way to go is
Amazon.
to deal with it accordingly.
I used to work at Amazon, and they had a blurb that was really good. And like, I think it really sums up how I feel about it is just because you find it reprehensible doesn't mean that we have the right to censor it and prevent other people from having access to it or expressing it. So, you know, just because I find something reprehensible also doesn't necessarily make it wrong. I mean, it might be wrong in my eyes.
I tell you something that I see now is like, I'll give you an example. I log on to Amazon to do some shopping, and the first thing I see is, hey, Black Lives Matter, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm just trying to
crazy.
shop.
It's everywhere.
I'm just trying to shop. I don't want a political agenda.
Yeah, but a lot of companies have to be politically correct, because if they're not, the consumer, a buttload of them are going to show their butts, and it'll be a whole nother Starbucks in their coffee cup at Christmas time.
It's everywhere. And I hope that if they come
you're damned if you do and damned if you don't, either way.
I hope if they come back with a new Mrs. Butterworth bottle, but that she's shaped a little more like Marilyn Monroe. That'd be cool. I'd be happy with that. And I'm going to miss the guy on the.
I've never had a chance to watch Gone with the Wind yet.
Yeah, I don't think they should be. You know, that's carrying it too far. You know, in my opinion. Yeah, everything can't be racist now. Come on.
I know.
Lufus says,
I don't look at Mrs. Butterworth as racist. I look at her as like, damn, I know my pancakes are going to be good now.
I tell you, back in the day, the time that the era of that, the black women were known to be the best
people
cooks.
aren't even complaining about it. Black people aren't even complaining about it.
You're right. Well,
it's white people complaining about it.
Exactly.
Yeah, it is.
It's butthurt. Yeah, it is. And that
it's the white people that are saying that it's racist.
Yeah.
So that's the thing right now, and this is all politically driven. This is all to feed the narrative that Trump is a racist.
Right.
That's all it is.
And Will, there
on the wind being removed also really makes me angry.
Yeah, well, I've never even seen that, but there was a white woman tweeting yesterday, bragging. She's a very, outspoken woman in the liberal community, bragging that yesterday there was a lot of empty seats from people because a lot of liberals, and this is what's going to happen with this election this year too. There's going to be people trying to block people in the polls and stuff because these people, what they did was they booked a lot of seats. Tons of seats, hundreds, if not thousands. You can look it up yourself. And she's bragging, saying, yeah, we booked a lot of seats at the Tulsa rally yesterday, and then none of them showed up because they wanted to show them that they were booked seats, and then all these people were able to want to show up for Trump, weren't able to show up because these people.
So they brought him up just so there would be empty seats.
Bingo.
Yeah.
That's funny.
And they said Trump was kind of pissed about that.
Well, I'm sure he was.
I put the clip. I put the clip to the Denny beating in the private chat.
Okay.
And that's what they did. I'm surprised that he survived that.
Yeah.
I've never actually seen it. Is it something I want to show, or is it too bad to show?
No, I don't think you want to show it.
No. Okay.
It shows the whole thing. So I mean,
Okay.
It's pretty graphic, and it's
bad because they pick up a cylinder brick. They dragged him out of there. They beat him so bad. They
I
kicked
never actually saw the footage.
That would be something like people like you can put it in the chat and let them watch it at their own.
I tried to stick it in the chat, but leave my channel. I don't nothing.
But
yeah.
Hey guys,
if you don't like seeing like,
oh my God, yeah, that's
a real beating.
Yeah.
Like, do not watch this, people. If you are queasy at all, do not watch it.
Oh my! See, I never even heard. Actually, the first time I ever heard of Reginald Denning was I used to watch it in Living Color, and they did a skit on Rodney King and Reginald Denning, and that was the first time I ever heard of him. And I had to go, and of course, oh my gosh, that's really graphic. Okay.
Yeah, it really is.
The whole thing,
it shows all. Yeah, it's.
Oh wow! I'm actually surprised that they managed to get such a good, considering back then, we didn't have much in the way of.
And they had a chopper flying above, and they were scared to go down there and help it.
Oh my gosh!
Hey guys, I feel like I've been attached to my headphones all day. It's been a really long day, so I'm gonna get on my phone and take a bath, and I'll be in the chat. But I'll be listening.
I'm gonna call it a night myself too. So
okay.
But thanks for having me on.
I'll be in the chat.
Yeah,
thank you, Will, for hanging out all night. I feel like I haven't talked to you in ages.
I know, same here, actually.
I enjoyed it.
Yeah,
I enjoyed it. So
I'll be in the chat.
It was very nice.
Bye, Copper. Bye, Brian. Bye. Thank you, breakfast.
Take it easy. Hey, Robbie, thanks for leading me over this way. It's nice to have a good conversation.
Yeah,
it was nice to meet you, Brian. I've heard about you, but I don't think we've ever spoken.
Hey, most of what you hear about me isn't true. For the most part, I can sit down and have a conversation with like-minded people.
I've actually heard nice things.
Good. I do get mixed up in the drama, and I can be a little high-tempered, but for the most part, I like chats like these where you can come and have a conversation. That's great. I appreciate it.
Absolutely, yeah. I know. I
subscribe to your channel. Yeah,
I appreciate that, man. Thanks.
Yeah, I subscribe to this one, and I've been over the years there. I haven't subscribed to yours yet, but I will.
You're welcome in my chat anytime, man. I appreciate it.
All right.
So yeah, I hope to talk to you guys soon. Have a good night.
I also am going to jump off here as well.
All right, sounds good. Thanks for coming up, guys. You're welcome here anytime.
Copper Dick, that's great. It's nice to meet you as well. That's cool.
Nice to meet you too.
You kind of sound like Jenny Jen Jen. You know who she is?
No, I don't. I don't get around much.
All right, that's
she's an RDA. She's in the RDA Discord anyway. I've seen her in chats before, but I don't know her as a creator.
They got the same voice. But she does Sunday panels. I appreciate being able to come over and meet some good people. I appreciate that.
Thanks for coming on. It's always good to meet new people. You're welcome here anytime.
All right.
All right.
Bye.
Catch you later.
Yep. All right. So for those who want to see it, I did put the link to the Reginald Denny attack in the chat. Just a warning, it's extremely, extremely graphic. Extremely graphic. So if you want to look at it, click at your own peril.
It could definitely give you nightmares. Definitely.
Yeah.
So be careful.
Honestly.
Like I'm gonna go ahead and warn you. It's really, really bad.
Yeah. Like you can really, really see like everything.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we'll just leave it at that.
Becky Mignon. I think I'm saying that right. Mignon. Whatever.
I say Mignon.
Sorry.
Is it? I don't know if that's right.
But I love Eddie Izzard. I love him. Love him.
Well, thanks for coming, Mignon. Anytime. I love it. Like, we really had a great panel and a great chat
fun.
tonight. Like, this is nice. This is the biggest crowd I've had in a long time. So it's nice to see people coming out again.
Oh yeah.
It's funny because during the lockdown, when everybody was all isolated and had nothing to do and everything was closed, like, you couldn't hardly get anybody to come watch a stream. It was crazy. But
Oh, I know.
it's nice to see people coming back. But I've been away for a while too. I think Robbie had also a little
A break was good. A break was very good.
Yeah, I think I needed that. I needed to detox. I needed a drama detox. But
Yeah.
I think I don't know.
At least a getting on a live detox in my case, because I was still kind of here and there in chats.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I was too. But it's a lot different when you're chatting than when you're streaming or even going up on panel. Like, all of those are way different. So and I just got I got too sucked up into the drama stuff.
And Nikki, in case you didn't know, that was me that called in that night. That really was Copper. It wasn't anybody faking. It was really me.
Is she in chat, or are you just saying that so in case she's listening?
Just saying that in case she listens or watches.
Oh, okay. I was like, I didn't message her and tell her I was streaming either, but I haven't seen her anywhere today either. So,
well, I figured she probably thought it was like Helen or something. So, but if she would have told me to turn my camera on, I'd have turned my camera on.
Very well could be, or it could be that she didn't notice either. Like, sometimes she doesn't notice if you're backstage. I know there was one time I was supposed to be on, I think, and she got sidetracked and forgot about me, and I was backstage forever. So it should just happen sometimes. But my very first live, I left poor Seraphin backstage like during half the thing, and I totally forgot about him until he gave up and said he was going to bed, and I was like, oh shit. So well, I don't know, you have anything you want to talk about before we wrap it up?
Not really.
Okay. Well,
I've been working like a lot, not really watching much of anything.
Yeah, I feel you. Well, I think we've been going for about 3.5 hours or so. I think it's probably a good point to wrap it up. Does anybody have anything they want to talk about before we say goodnight? Oh, Amanda, no, I know you didn't, hon. You're absolutely fine. You're absolutely good. You're a regular here, and you're always respectful and stuff. He just reacts a little strongly sometimes and pops off. So you just kind of have to not take him seriously. Rev got mad.
Oh yeah. You just grain of salt. Yeah.
He gets mad, and
he likes to try to say stuff to start something, but with me, he's like, oh, I hear you're an asshole.
Yeah. Well, that's
only to certain people.
Yeah.
He's one of them. I'm definitely an asshole to him.
Yeah.
But when you ask a stupid question, you get a stupid answer.
Exactly. So
I'm sorry, Rev, but it's true.
Well, he also he pops off easy, but then he gets over it in seconds too. So when he pops off, you just have to be like, "Oh, shut up, Rev," and then he's like, "Okay." So just don't take him seriously. I'm sorry that he was rude to you, though, because you've always been cool.
I didn't look at it as rude.
Yeah, well, it caused a little bit of a controversy or whatever. I'm sorry he was rude to Amanda.
Yeah, it was Manda. Me,
yeah, that's what I meant.
I can handle. I can handle me.
Yeah,
but if I'd have known he was mean to Manda, I'd have said something to him.
Yeah, he kind of yelled at her, and she was. I think that might have been while you were getting coffee. But if you go back and look,
I'll get him, Manda.
Yeah, but he was just being Rev. So yeah. Yeah, I'm sorry about all that. I really am. Like sometimes things happen and you don't know like how to I mean, I know it was my
Respond.
panel. Yeah, I know it was my panel, but I didn't really know exactly um how to address it. But
With
Platinum,
Rev, you just got to be like, man, Rev, shut up.
yeah. Platinum made a comment in here. I know you're getting ready to go night night. We are, but I just wanted to mention because he said, or he or she said that they have Syrian heritage, and so do I. My
Hey.
dad's side of the family is full-blooded Syrian also. So yeah, that's really cool. So I just wanted to mention that
I
in
don't
case you
think that
didn't know.
Platinum. She says, however, whenever she says
Oh,
all flags should be flown, the first thing people think is, oh, he's a
he's a
racist.
racist. Oh, I don't think that at all.
So yeah, I don't think that. I think, yeah,
Yeah,
that's why the UN is so pretty. It's so colorful with all the flags.
the only flag I have a problem with is the rebel flag, and just to me, because it represents a lot of pain, a lot of heartache, and it bothers me when people in my state, in West Virginia, say it's a part of our heritage because that is why we left Virginia. So
I
it
know.
absolutely
I'm in North
is not
Carolina,
a part of
so
our heritage.
my state was right there.
Do you get that
With
in your state? People in your state saying we should keep that as a part of our history. Like it's
yeah.
not. It's exactly why your
It's
state became a
basically
state.
the side of the war that the South came up with the flag, and what they were fighting over was the right to keep slaves. That's
Right,
what most people are not understanding,
right,
is that's what is attached to that flag.
right.
So if, you know,
It's not just the Dukes of Hazzard, although that's what it meant to me
switch
as
it
a
up
kid
a little
too.
bit, maybe make them a new flag or something, that
Right,
would be cool.
right. Well, I can understand maybe where southern
Spruce it up a
states,
little bit.
like truly southern states, consider it a part of their history, but a state that seceded from its from the south part, so because they were completely against slavery, saying it's a part of their history is ridiculous, because West Virginia was never a part of our history. North Carolina, I doubt it was ever a part of their history either. Maybe back when they were still part of Carolina or whatever.
Yeah, yeah. Some of the North Carolina was, on that south side,
Right. Yeah, there
not with
was
the
a small
north.
part. Yeah, there was a small part of West Virginia too that flew the flag for a very, very brief period of time, but it was a small part and not
Like
anywhere
there's
near.
still some places in North Carolina that fly it. There's still some places in South Carolina that fly it.
Right. I've heard people in my town
There's
saying that about the flag though, and it annoys me because
every
our part
Tom,
of
Dick,
the
and
state
Harry
never.
has one in his yard.
Yeah. I find that incredibly annoying and incredibly insulting just because it's completely the opposite of what our state stood for, you know. So and I find it a bit
I know I don't
ignorant.
agree with it.
So, but every other flag in the world, yeah, I think you should be able to fly. I think, and especially
Well, I mean,
people who,
there's a few flags that, shouldn't be flown because of what they stand for, but for the most part, most flags should be, free to fly.
I'm talking about flags of the world. Let me
Yeah,
let
like
me quantify
not
that.
North Korea, maybe, not the Nazi flag,
I think if you come from
and
North
not the
Korea,
rebel flag,
I think if
It's
you come from North Korea, like if that was your home state and you wanted to fly that, I think
I
that
don't
would
even
be
think they like their
okay. I don't
but
know. I think it has
hey, if they
something to
do,
do. I
rock
think
it
it.
then, man.
Yeah, I think if it has to do with your heritage, it's fine. I do, even if it's North Korea. Like if you were born in North Korea and you
Yeah, but
want
I don't
to,
think it really does go with their heritage because they created it like not that long ago. Like
mm,
technically they could switch it up again and it wouldn't really matter.
maybe.
Like that's
Although
what
I do
I'm
have to
saying. Like
say
with the
that
rebel flag, if they would just totally redesign that thing and make it less offensive,
sorry.
it'd be great.
Yeah, yeah, I agree. There has been some talk, and there were different versions of the rebel flag that were not as
Oh yeah, there
offensive.
was like 3 different versions. There was never one like official version of it.
Right. It's just well, actually, no.
The
I
most
think the
common
first
one is the one that, most people see. That's the solid X with the stars around it.
right, the Dukes of Hazzard one,
Yeah. But
and I
there's
forget like all the
actually
different
like
names for them.
3 or 4 of them. There's like one that they were in a circle,
Right.
like the stars were in a circle, and there was still the little rebel flag behind it. And
Well, and there was one that was like a big field of white, and then like up in the corner it had like some stars and shit.
yeah, like they can take any of the other versions.
Well, actually, that one was
there's-
even more racist
take
than
a-
the one.
They could adopt 1 or 2 of the older versions.
Actually, the one that was all white and just had the little bit was the most racist one, if I remember correctly, because it had something to do with like
Well, they can create a
unspoiled
brand new
light.
one. See, they had so many different kinds. They can create a new one.
Yeah, yeah.
I
The
mean,
one that was all white
look
was
at
like a white
our,
complete-
the American flag.
Oh,
It
yeah.
went from having 13 stars to 50.
Well,
You just gotta, make some room for them.
and I'm kind of surprised
It
they
may
never
not have
added
changed
extra
much, but it did
stars
change.
I'm surprised
That's what
they
I'm
never.
saying.
I'm surprised they never added extra stars for the two, for the states.
Do you
we
know it
added
was
on.
actually a high school student that drew the current pattern
Oh,
of the
really?
flag? Yeah.
No, I didn't know that. Mm-mm.
He wrote a paper, and it was like a project for school, and he like redesigned the American flag to include, it was when Hawaii and Alaska were going to be considered states.
Mm-hmm.
And he did it for a class project, and the teacher gave him a B-, and he said that if he can get the flag to be adopted, by the, president, then he'd change the grade to an A. And the kid like wrote into it and like did it, and like 2 years later they adopted his design.
Oh, wow.
So his is like the longest running flag design that
Yeah.
we've used it for like 90 something years, I think they said.
Isn't it funny how the longer time goes by, the less adaptive we are to change, though? I think it's really interesting in some ways, because if you look at things that are like institutions, like they change over the years and stuff, but the longer time goes by, the less people are willing to change or update it. Like the flag, for instance, we've added new states, and like Puerto Rico technically is a state, and the Virgin Islands, I think, but they've never considered adding stars to the flag for those.
Yeah, they could definitely add a little something for it.
Yeah, I think it would do. Do we have technically 53? Is it 53 or 52? I can't remember. That's awful.
I know it's 52, but it might be 53.
I don't know. God, that's sad that I don't know that, but I don't. Oh, well, it's late anyway. My head's hurting. But I never saw the video of the girl in the maggot cap getting beat up either. I think I am going to get ready to sign off here. Let's just check. Let's do the spacey check. Nope. Still no. Still no live. I'm disappointed. We never got your opinion on this, so we'll ask you. Copper, Robbie gave his opinion. I gave mine. Why do you think Space Monster never went on with her live?
She might have got beat up by one of those drop bears.
We can only hope. No, that's awful.
Kangaroo could have, ambushed her.
Smacked her.
Could have got bit by one of those dinner plate spiders.
Yeah, maybe. Yes, Manda, it still says it's scheduled, but she has not updated the time as of yet. It still says 11 p.m. my time for today or yesterday.
It's already Monday over there. Maybe she had to work.
Yeah, maybe. There's 16-hour time difference, I believe, in Australia. So very well could be, but I do have to say I'm kind of disappointed. I was looking forward to sniping her. I'm not going to lie.
Maybe, she couldn't find any Wi-Fi.
Yeah, maybe. So, okay, folks, I'm going to sign off, like in keeping with the Space Monster theme, with a song called David Duchovny, Why Don't You Love Me? Before that, though, I'm going to remind you all, if you're not familiar with Real Talk Recovery, with that channel, Nicole was here in the beginning, but I don't know, I think she just stopped in to say hi. She's very busy, and she streams a lot too. But she has an amazing channel, and I'm going to be on her panel tomorrow night at 7 p.m. Central. I think that's 9 p.m. Eastern, talking about some of the programs that I talked about earlier today. If any
8 p.m.
of you,
Eastern.
8 p.m. Eastern, okay. If anybody listening is in recovery or know somebody who's in recovery, her channel is very positive. It's a very safe place. It's a very
it's really cool over there.
Yeah, it's really cool over there. It's very conducive to recovery, and she streams a lot. So check her out. Come see me on there tomorrow night.
Check out Robbie and his second channel, because he posts really cute videos with Sandra, and they're hilarious.
That's on his second channel?
Wait, music's on his second channel, and Sandra's on his channel.
Yeah. So check out Robbie, of course, although I think most people came here from Robbie, so they all know how wonderful he is anyway.
Check out the glare.
Yes. Check out Will, Brian St. John. Who else do we have?
And he is going to speak.
Doesn't have a channel. So,
and if you don't it, oh, freaking well, you're the only one that's going to care about that.
Yep, there you go. So Monday night, I'm going to be on Real Talk Recovery. The link's in the chat. Tuesday, I'm going to be doing the live on West by God, Virginia. And my boyfriend is going to play pool Tuesday night, so I'll be able to start earlier than usual, so that'll be nice.
Woo, and I'm off.
Hey, awesome. Okay. So come see me Tuesday night and try to check out Nicole's. I'll be on there tomorrow night if you want to hang out. And I'm going to sign off with this awesome song by Bree Sharp. The album is A Cheap and Evil Girl, and it's called David Duchovny, Why Don't You Love Me? I'll see you in the next one. Sincerely yours, Breakfast Club.
Laters.
It's Sunday night. I am curled up in my room. The TV light fills my heart like a balloon. I hold it in as best I can. I know I'm just another fan, but I can't help feeling I could love this secret agent man. And I can't wait anymore for him to discover me. I got it bad for David Duchovny. David Duchovny, why won't you love me? Why won't you love me? My friends all tell me, girl, you know it's just a show. But deep within his eyes, I see me wrapped up like a bow, watching the sky for a sign. The FBI's on my mind. I'm waiting for the day when my lucky stars align, and the flame of David Duchovny floating above me in the alien light of the spaceship of love. I need David Duchovny hovering above me, American Heathcliff brooding and calmly. David Duchovny, why won't you love me? Why won't you love me? Why won't you love me? So smart and so smart, he's adopted my heart, and I'm falling apart from the looks I receive, from those eyes I can't leave. Well, you can say I'm naive, but he told me to believe. bags are packed. I am ready for my flight. Wanna put an end to my daydream days and sleepless nights, sitting like a mindless clone, wishing he would tap my phone just to hear the breath of the man that made the water turn. I would say, David, to cut me. Why won't you love me? Why won't you love me? Why won't you love me? David, to cut me. Why won't you love me? Why won't you love me? Why won't you love me? David, to cut me. I want you to love me. Kiss and to hug me, to breathe and to hug me. David, to cut me. I know you can love me. I'm sweet and I'm cunning. I'm gonna kiss Scully and David, to cut me. Why won't you love me? Why won't you love me? Why won't you love me? I'll be waiting in the